And we're back. I don't know why we look like that. Technical difficulties. We're back now. As I said, we're back Wednesday. I have the pleasure of having DJB and Kenny Ken on my platform. How you guys doing, man? Got a lot to discuss.
All good. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Not a bad day. So, yeah, all good. Looking forward to the show. Thanks for having me on as usual and sharing the screen with my legend, Kenny.
Come on.
As usual. All good.
I see Kenny's eating an ice pole or something. He's enjoying his.
I don't know what. I look at everyone in this on the stream, and I swear to God, everyone looks shiny for the shiny. It is absolutely
humid, man. It's raining at the moment, though, but it's humid.
It's very high.
It's muggy, really muggy.
And, yeah, so I know why I know DG is probably going to be in a studio in central London watching Super Cup.
No, actually not. You know.
No, I don't know. Actually, that DG is going to push back on my confirmation that they're a big club. Can you imagine if they have a parade if they win today?
Oh, man.
Yeah, DJB wasn't here, but Kenny Ken was saying Spurs is a big club.
Enough's enough.
Spurs are a big club.
That's what Kenny Ken said. Spurs are a big club.
No, I think traditionally I've been brought up to the fact because when I was growing up in the 80s, you think about in the 80s, before your time, DG, but the big five in the 80s were Arsenal. Sorry, it was Liverpool, Man United, Everton, Spurs, and Liverpool. And even before the Premiership started, they were actually seen as the big five. They're the ones who are oppositions to the Premier League because they're all getting the most money. And that's how it traditionally has been. Obviously, since the conception of the Premier League, how many trophies they won? Let's see it. Well, I've still got fingers and hat on one hand.
League Cup,
you know what I mean?
Europa.
You think about it. From 93 up until 2025, they've won the League Cup, another League Cup. Yeah, 3. I've still got 2 fingers on this one hand. Well, I actually got 1 finger on the thumb.
But that's the thing about the old days, Kenny. They're the old days, man. Spurs are never
club, it's still relevant. It's still relevant because they still can mobilise big crowds. You know, they got bigger crowds for winning that Europa League than Chelsea got for when they won a Champions League in 2012. It's facts.
Fair. I can't disagree with that. I'm still never going to accept it, but I disagree with that.
You don't have to. You know, I'm not always right.
Definitely not. GYOKERES is going to show you, man. You didn't do the GYOKERES celebration after Bilbao. Come on, man. Join the revolution, Kenny, man. And DJB back.
You're under 40.
I got 10 more years.
So you see 40, you can't do it in front of me.
Yeah. Can't be doing all that celebration yet.
If we win the league, are you going to do that? I'm going to ask this every show. Why though? Like, life's already serious. What's so hard about doing that?
Well, because the club's more important than the player.
That's what's I got to do with anything, Kenny. You're just doing a celebration.
Everything because
can't do it. It's like wearing a football top, isn't it, Kenny?
Don't worry, I don't mind you wearing a football top, but you don't have to listen to Rory. But to be honest, Rory, bloody last time. I mean, the first time I saw him, he was an extra in EastEnders. How the market have risen.
How it all goes, eh? How it all goes.
I think it's kind of linked from what I said about you know, when you guys asked me to rate the transfer window, I said, well, you can't really rate the transfer window because, well, you can't do that. You can't, you know, get a university grade or a place on predicted A-level grades. You've got to wait until, you know, you sit the exams. And I'm thinking that we'll know if GYOKERES passes, you know, if it's a good transfer. If GYOKERES scores a winning goal in a very tight match, and that leads us to winning big trophies, or in general, tight games when we're playing against low blocks, GYOKERES comes and he's the difference. Or a tight game at Anfield, a tight game, you know, at the Etihad or Stamford Bridge, GYOKERES gets that one chance, that one goal, and I think that's when you think, yeah, that's the one. That's a 10 at window. Or when Zubimendi, you know, is the difference of us tweaking it tactically. And I think that's how I look at it. I'm pretty strict like that because we've seen it before in loads of times where the intentions are there, but sometimes football's so funny like that. You guys been playing where everyone just sometimes doesn't gel. You can put some great. For instance, you could put Messi, Ronaldo, and probably Zidane in the front three. They might not gel.
Yeah, exactly.
On FIFA, but on the pitch, they might not gel. You know what I mean?
Just like PSG a few years ago when they had Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe.
Just didn't work.
Exactly.
Time will tell, Kenny. It'll all be revealed on Sunday, my friend.
It will.
Oh, Sunday's massive.
Sunday is
the real
huge.
stuff's come.
Just on every level. The fact that it's Man United, the fact that it's Old Trafford, the fact that it's the opening game of the season, the fact that they've made signings, what they're expecting a lot of things from to get them out of their kind of hole that they're in, and the fact that we've made signings to sort of push us to the next level. So Sunday's game's massive on all accounts. Signings, the venue, the history of the two clubs, it is just huge.
The pressure going into this season as well.
It'll give us an idea of. Is that
the first time in Premiership history that our first game of the season is being against Man United? Because I remember a couple of.
No,
I can't remember one in my lifetime. You know,
90. I don't think it is. Didn't we play them at home once for the season?
No, 86, 87.
86, 87.
When George Graham's first home game, we played them, beat them 1-0.
Since the Premiership was born, is it the first time we played them? I think since the Premiership we haven't played them. No,
we haven't played them the first game of the season.
No, the 80s we did, but we haven't played them.
Yeah, quite a few times. Yeah.
But having said that, it's massive, and I think it'll just lay the foundations on where we're going. To be honest, if we can get 3 points on Sunday and then do the business at home against Leeds, and then somehow kind of Liverpool away nick a draw or something. That's a huge hurdle we can get over in those first 6 fixtures.
You know how we do it. We've got to do it like the traditional way, in the proper ways, one game at a time. Just assume that we're in a title running where sometimes you got the last 10 games, and your players, some of your players running empty. You're relying on the big players to get something out of nothing when games are really tight, and you think, right, rather than get the map out, which everyone's like, I think from a professional point of view, one game at a time. I think now we've got Man United, which is a game that puts hairs on the back of your chest. You can't play Liverpool before you play Man United, and vice versa. Leeds and Man City. It's got to be one game at a time.
Play what's in front of you.
Yeah, they've got to treat the beginning of the season as if it's the end. If you know what I mean, as if they need to win these games to win the Premiership. They've got to treat. That's the attitude that they've got to go in. They can't go in with the attitude of like, right, it's the first couple of games of the season. If we drop points, we've still got the rest of the season to make up. We can't do that. We've got to go in the beginning of this season as if it's the end, as if it's like everything relies on it, because of the fixtures and how complicated the fixtures are. That's the only way to treat it. My biggest problem is if we get over if we do well against Man United, we beat Liverpool or draw at Liverpool, and we do that. The last thing you want is three London derbies. We've got Fulham, Palace, and West Ham, and they're the sort of teams you potentially drop points to.
Banana skins.
So there's no point. There's no point doing the business against the likes of Man United, going to Anfield, coming away with a point or possibly 3. Newcastle beating them. There's no point coming out of those fixtures and then kind of dropping points against that was our issue last year as well, to be honest. Like we did last season. West Ham come to the Emirates, done a job on us, weren't really playing well up until then. In actual fact, they were absolutely awful. And they rocked up at the Emirates and somehow no one ever saw that coming. But it happens, and this is the vulnerability that we've got, and this is what we've got to try and iron out next season. We have to. If we want to be serious contenders in this football league, we've got to iron out all the mistakes that have been made in the past. And it's just whether we can or not. That's the thing.
So how confident are you guys? Go on, Kenny, before I ask. Go on.
No, I think sorry to Kane. I think that's the thing. Believe it or not, our home form is going to be very key. I think if you're interested in winning the league, people it's not so much your waveform that actually can.
The Emirates has to become a fortress.
Exactly. If you think about the times when Chelsea were dominant under Jose Mourinho, for the first 3 years of his reign, they didn't lose a home game. Chelsea didn't lose a home, and I think that's how Arsenal going to look at it. The home form has to be imperious because teams have to be scared to come to Emirates. You know, they have to look in the tunnel and they can think, yeah, we're not winning today, like they did at Old
Have to hear North London forever and get goosebumps.
You're doing well before you said that.
I had to, Kenny, man.
And if he sings that with a mask as well, Kenny.
No, I'm not with the singing.
End the stream, Dave. End the stream.
You know what? They have to bring back corporal punishment, won't they?
You know
what? No, man. Like the song is where I draw the line. I don't like it. I don't think it's a bad song. I've got no issues if they want to play it, but I don't know why that's become our official theme tune. I can't imagine anyone scared of that. You might be scared of the team and the atmosphere, but the song, don't know.
I know.
There's quite a few anthems I can think of better than that, to be honest.
100%. And how does it even uplift the players? But it's on brand.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
We had a bit of Elvis, didn't we, as they come out?
Oh, I remember that.
You remember the Elvis series?
Yeah, I remember that. Actually, you know,
I quite like that bit of Elvis as they come out. The Wonders of You, wasn't it?
And they just stopped it all of a sudden. Then
they just stopped it and brought out North London Forever. Yeah. So
it was the Wonder of You. They played the Wonder of You, didn't they?
Yeah, the Wonder of You, didn't they?
Yeah.
Wonder of You, yeah.
I want to answer you lot with this while we're on this topic as well. You know, making me laugh.
That was funny. It was good.
Kenny enjoyed that. It made you feel good.
He's a tough man to make smile, man.
One stop. I do not want Sweet Caroline at Arsenal.
No. What has that got? Why is that? Why is it? Why is it crept in football and
it's in boxing as well? It's in boxing. You know what it is with Sweet Caroline?
Yeah, he's not even an English artist, is he?
You know what spoils Sweet Caroline? It's a beautiful song, but when people just go, so good, just stop that. Stop it.
I know they can't, Kenny.
It's too far gone, Kenny, man. You gotta adapt to the times, man.
You know what the modern football fans like, Kenny.
Yeah,
exactly. Bunch of them at the Emirates. I don't think it's meant to scare, though. It's for togetherness. You should be together anyways. But okay. I hear you, Arteta's Bulldog. I hear you.
Yeah.
We need to start a show. Start a show from now and talk about the subjects you've raised.
Yeah, man. The first thing I want to talk about is what have you made of Arsenal pre-season? Everything all in between, and we did quite well against Bilbao. Like I told you, Zubimendi's better than Partey, but we'll get on to that.
Yeah, I'd be honest with you.
My neck's on the line for Zubimendi.
If I'm going to look into pre-season and be honest, it hasn't really got me excited. I've not seen too much in the way of how we're going to set up and how we're going to play next season. I've not seen a massive dynamic turn in tactics, which I was hoping to see. We've tried to get the ball forward a little bit quicker.
Been a bit more direct, to be fair.
Yeah, it's a bit more direct, but it's patchy in phases. One of the things I have learned is Zubimendi's good on the ball. I'm a little bit worried off the ball. His positioning and his work rate and how easy he gets kind of, beaten. But on the ball, he's very effective, which is good. I've said it from day one, Skelly's not a left back. He's not a left back.
You've been consistent in that.
He's going to get found out quite a few times, I think. And that's no disrespect to Skelly. One of the things that is completely come to light that me and Kenny's been banging on about for months and months and months is Martinelli is completely gone, and he should be sold. Good. He should be sold. I think the left-hand side is still a weakness. So pre-season for me, GYOKERES looks as if he's up for it. However, I've still not seen hard evidence that we're playing to his strengths. Tenfold in key positions, like when Odegaard and you look at your creative players, when they're getting the ball, they're still holding it on. They're still holding on to it that little bit too long for me. I'd like to see it released a lot quicker so that GYOKERES can, you know...
He's on his bike.
Yeah. So he's on his bike and he can get on the ball a little bit quicker and make things happen. That will probably come, but the problem, as I said, what I've seen pre-seasons, I've seen little snippets of improvements, but I've not seen like an overall kind of wow factor that's going to think to myself, when you know, we're going to mean business here. And what I've seen of Norgard, it's just batting safe in the crease, isn't it? It's just kind of, it's just the comfort zone, isn't it? I mean, there's players that we've bought this season, and we're just in the comfort zone with them. We haven't really moved the goalpost, as in real title contenders, as in the squad challenging the first.
Only
11.
got 2 players that could lay claim to that. If anything,
exactly.
Zubimendi,
Zubimendi and GYOKERES are probably the only 2. The others are just, as I said, we're just in the comfort zone. They're a bit like for me. And I don't think we've done enough, and that's evident in the pre-season. And as the seasons goes on, you are going to get injuries. That's just the facts of life of playing football. There will be injuries. And then when you look at suspensions and injuries and stuff like that, you're then going to be looking at who is the players to come in. And the players that we've got to come in Marino, Norgard, an out-of-form Martinelli for Madueke, because I still think Madueke is going to play on the left. I think Martinelli, if we don't sell him, he will become the bench player. When you look at those players coming on, are they going to make a difference? Have we done enough in the market? I mean, for me, if you'd have given me Eze, Rodrigo, GYOKERES, Zubimendi, and then you say to me, we're getting Madueke, we're getting Norgard, I'd go, okay, fair enough. Understand. But the fact that we've made them our main signings and we've not bought anyone else in, for me, it's quite a worry going into the season. Just that I'm just that little bit concerned. Again, when you think that this team needs to win premierships, it needs to win major trophies.
It needs to get over the line next year.
And I just don't think we've done enough. I just don't think we've done enough in the market. But, you know, we will see. We will see.
DJB, on that, I just want, like, then what did you make of the Bilbao game? Because I don't think you're wrong, but I just think with myself, I felt a lot of what you feel, and it's not that I've changed my opinions, but Bilbao showed me a bit differently. You know, Rice was not in his usual role, but he was in positions to just do what Rice is great at. Obviously, we had Zubimendi, was playing the free-flowing football that we kind of begged for. Now, obviously, they do say you're only as good as your last game, but like, I don't think that to a degree. Like, did that last game change anything in your favor?
Yeah, I mean, the last game, obviously, we showed a little bit more intent, and we was a bit free flowing. But let's be honest, Bilbao after the first goal was kind of, I don't know what they were playing, to be honest. They were wide open, you know. They weren't really. They was if ever you want to go and see a friendly, then Atletico Bilbao epitomised playing a friendly. You could see that for some reason or another they weren't really up for it. They was only there for the occasion. And any team that plays against us like that and gives us space and gives us time, we are going to punish this season. There's no doubt about it. And I've said it.
If you do the low blocks,
all along. We will have our moments in the sun. There will be teams that will allow us to play, and we will punish them because of the type of football we play. However, are we going to play that kind of free-flowing on the front foot on Sunday against the likes of Man United? Are we going to play that at our home games when we play Liverpool at home and Man United at home, Spurs and stuff like that? We'll have to wait and see. But I've not seen over the pre-seasons game in and game out. I've just not seen enough of that. Do you know what I mean? I've not. I was hoping that every game I was going to see some big differences, and I haven't really seen it, DG, to be honest.
Some of our fans said that Arteta was potentially hiding those tactics to not show his hand. Like, do you not believe that?
No, I don't believe that. I can't believe that. He hasn't. How many tactics has he got then, this manager? Because I've only ever seen 2 tactics in playing, really. So he hasn't got that many tactics to hide. So I'd like to see if he is hiding any tactics. Let us see him on Sunday, because no, I don't think so. I don't think so.
Kenny, Where are you at on the preseason as a whole as we look to Man United?
Well, in terms of preseason, we know Saka's come out really out of the ranks, really quick, really sharp. He's beginning to develop this, change the pace. I think he must be relieved that he's had a preseason. You know what I mean? And say, he's looked pretty sharp. The guys who are not going to trouble the scorers have made more of an impression. Realistic, Matt Dalman's not going to get involved in any major capacity next season, but he has caught the high eye, and it's basically shown what we got for the future. Wanyeri pre-season, it was opportunity for him. I think, he'll be involved this season, so we learnt something. Norgard is going to give us a physical presence. That's one thing we learnt this season, and because of what he gives us, it's highly likely that he's going to be featured in a lot more games than you think. One thing I am pleased about, Zubimendi does move the wheel tactically, and he's capable of doing it. To say he's better than Thomas Partey, well, they're not the same player.
He's better than him, Kenny, man.
No, it's not. Yeah, but the thing
2025, Kenny.
You can't compare them because simple reasons.
Why not? Are they both not centre mids?
Well, it's not necessarily because what's happened is that when we're the compass tactically was Declan Rice and Thomas Partey playing in a similar sort of way where we were very difficult to beat and we were very physical in midfield. We're now moving away from that. To ask Zubimendi to do what Partey does is unrealistic. To ask
what does Partey do, though? What did Partey do?
What Partey does is he screens the back four. He wins and strolls. But Zubimendi, he's not that kind of player. Zubimendi's there to give us control of the ball in midfield, especially in Europe.
But that's my point. He does everything Partey does, and what you're saying.
That's not Partey's job. That was never Partey's job. Neither it's Declan's job.
Because he ain't got the capacity in 2024 or 2025.
Yeah, but even say it. But we weren't asking him to do that. We were asking him to play.
Because he can't do it.
Yeah, but doesn't mean typically. Yeah, but it's not the way he can't do it. The manager is playing different. Is playing a certain way. Now with Zubimendi, the manager. No excuses to. He can move the the compass in a different way tactically.
Come on, Kenny, man. You go to and DJB. You don't go to the games. You know Partey can't get up and down and do all of that.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Let's move it to Liverpool. Is Frimpong and Trent Alexander-Arnold the same player? Same sort of right back?
Both right backs. Of course they're not.
Yeah,
but they're kind of that's a poor example. They're both actually more similar than Zubimendi and Partey. They're both better going forward.
Can Liverpool attack the same way with Frimpong in the team or with Trent Alexander-Arnold? When you've got Trent Alexander-Arnold's delivery from set pieces, his accurate long passing, both diagonal and vertical, and the fact that he can lend himself for a goal with long shots. Can Liverpool play that way with French attributes?
Yeah, you can.
They can't because Frimpong's not the same player.
You can. They might not be the same player, but they're both fullbacks. They're both fullbacks who are good going forward. You put attacking responsibility on them. Of course, Trent is a good passer, so you're going to put an emphasis on that.
And that's what I'm saying is that different. When you replace a player, 9 out of 10 times, obviously you want something similar, but sometimes you want to move the wheel tactically because that player can give you something different. And that's why I'm praising Zubimendi. One of the things that went wrong for us in Europe was our inability to control possession. It was evident against Bayern Munich in 24, and it was critical in the 2 matches against PSG, especially in the second leg when PSG weathered the storm. We couldn't get the ball back.
Zubimendi's got the long throw Partey had, so maybe you're right.
Yeah, but Zubimendi's game's not about long throws. But in terms of other aspects as well, there is now a dimension in terms of the left-hand side in playing Madueke. And he could give us something different. Kluivert is still a very important player for him and a manager.
Like it or not, you're right.
And GYOKERES is, it does give us an option, but it'd be nice to see him fit. But in terms of where we are this season, one thing we've learned is just what we faced last season. We're still susceptible to teams that play low block, and we're still brilliant when teams give us space. Bilbao gave us space and we killed them. And they actually played the game like a pre-season. There was kind of we're further in our fitness than Bilbao. So we show what we can do. But from what it told me is that it's actually the same as last season, that don't give Arsenal space or they'll kill you. No one, there ain't going to be many stupid teams in the Premiership who are going to give us that kind of that space.
Why would you?
Of course, but we have to find a way. But we have to find a way to break that down, and that's why there's a lot of concern about relying wholly on Odegaard and relying wholly on Partey. That's why there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of desire to get Eze in the team, because Eze gives that other option, from a point of view where he goes into areas where he can't be marked. He goes into areas where, because of his ability to dead ball situations, because of his ability to runs and his ability to, his technical ability, we can break teams down with him in the side. But again, that's just it's basically like a dream at the moment, because he hasn't signed for anyone. He's still at Palace.
We'll get on to Eze. But I want to ask you a lot about GYOKERES. Do you think GYOKERES starts the season? Do you think he's going to be our first choice striker, or is it going to at least be Kai Havertz from the beginning?
No, he has to be our first. He has to be our first choice striker. I mean, because the simple reason is he's an out-and-out striker, whereas people forget Havertz is not a striker. So he has to start. And I've said you've got to try and build the team around the way he plays, because when he was playing in Portugal, the whole system and the whole team was built around how GYOKERES plays to score goals. And I don't think we can do that 100%. So there will be times when GYOKERES is going to get frustrated, especially when teams are playing a low block.
Sorry, against Villarreal, to be honest.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So there's going to be times when GYOKERES will look pretty ordinary, because the simple matter of the fact is, when he was playing in Portugal, as I said, the whole team was built around him scoring goals. We ain't going to be able to do that on certain games, because there are teams that are going to come to the Emirates and frustrate us, play a low block, try and hit us on the counter and stuff like that. So there'd be occasions when we just can't do that. And that's when GYOKERES is going to have to find a different way. Whether that's crosses into the box, I don't know. I'm hoping it's not, because what I don't want is for us to revert to getting the ball out wide, cross, set pieces. I don't want us to rely on that. This is why I think it's so important that the players we've got at the club at the moment, Zubimendi, Saka, Odegaard, can find a way to create space and deliver passes through the lines. And that's the worry for me, because teams know that if they mark Saka out the game,
half the job done.
It's pretty much job done, because you've got Odegaard that hasn't impressed me pre-season. He's another one that hasn't impressed me pre-season. He looks as if he's just carrying on from where we left off, to be honest. And
that's hard.
To me, it's not hard, really. He hasn't really done.
He set the world at 100%.
Even against Atletico Bilbao, he was stumbling over the ball. He got the ball caught in his feet when he should have laid it off. It was. I don't know what's wrong with him. But at the end of the day, that's what we've got to do. We've got to try and find ways to get it into GYOKERES' feet. He likes the ball to feet. He likes that kind of where he runs onto it and he's already in his stride and he's running at defenders, because that's what we want to see. We want to see that. I don't want to become a team where you see him just waving his arm in the box, waiting for the cross, trying to find space for the cross to come in.
We've been there.
I think there'll be too many defenders that will cotton onto that very, very quickly, and just use their body strength to sort of put him off and stuff like that. We don't want to get into that position where we're just relying on crosses. So we've got to get creative. Have to get creative. As regards to Havertz, I still think he'll be used. I think what you'll see is when the game's won, or if you see GYOKERES kind of getting frustrated, he'll come off. Yeah, I think he'll use Havertz. I think the substitution that you saw against Bilbao, I reckon that'll be a common feature next season.
You don't think they'll play together at some point? Because just going off the Odegaard thing, what if Odegaard's dropped out and Kai? It looks mad on paper, but Kai's in that 10 role. but it's really some kind of 4-4-2 thing with
I'd try Henry and Bergkamp settings. You know what I mean?
That's kind of the angle. I mean,
I
come a
would
long way negatively if that's it.
I would definitely try it. I'd try anything, and this is what I want the manager to do next season. I want him to try different things. I want him to perhaps try, 4-4-2, or playing 2 up top instead of 1, or putting them together and see if they can gel together. This is what I want to see. I want to see all that, different way of playing, different tactics. Because the fact of the matter is,
air of unpredictability.
We've become too stout, and I know you've been sort of praising Zubimendi, and rightly so, because he hasn't really done a lot wrong. He looks as if he's been at the club for a couple of seasons, to be honest.
You lot are going to join the hive soon, man. It's not too late. 50% of memberships, Kenny.
But the fact of the matter is, if he starts to get Zubimendi to play the way he plays last season and the season before, we're going to become too predictable again. You've got to allow Zubimendi to whip the ball in first time and not take an extra touch. You've got to allow Zubimendi to be a little bit braver with the ball. You've got to allow these players to express themselves a little bit more and try something different. Because if he doesn't do that, then we're going to become very, very predictable next season, and teams will find us out. Most of the teams have got our number anyway. They know exactly how they're going to line up against us. So we've got to be one step ahead of them. And now you've got GYOKERES, you can do that. You can be one step ahead of them. As you said, try Havertz and GYOKERES together. Why not?
Do stuff we ain't seen before.
I still don't think Havertz is good enough, personally, but we'll see. We'll see. One thing you've got to do is try and get Saka in that final third a bit more. I don't want to see Saka tracking back. I don't want to see Saka doing too many defensive duties. A, because of his injury that he's had, and B, I just want to see him in that final third. The problem is, you can't just rely on GYOKERES to score the goals. You've got to spread the goals out around the team. You've got to get Saka back on 10, 12, 14 goals. You got to get your midfielders up. I want to see Rice scoring. I want to see Rice in double figures. You have to do that, because if you look at all the Chelsea teams that have gone by that have won leagues,
Lampard.
The Lampards and all of that, they've all chipped in with goals, and this is the next thing he's got to be able to do.
When you said that, I thought of Odegaard.
You can't rely on GYOKERES. Odegaard's got to have more. He's got to start scoring. For a number 10, his goal scoring record is not that good, really. If you look at how many games he's played, it's not that brilliant, really. So Odegaard's got to start chipping in. And if we don't get these players scoring goals, and we're just relying on GYOKERES, we could be in for quite a hefty shock this season.
We can't just rely on him. Like, this is why, for me, I think we've got 2 pieces to the three-man attacking puzzle, if that makes sense. Like, we know what Saka can do. If you provide him with enough games, he'll score goals. Obviously, GYOKERES ain't kicked a ball in the Premier League, but we've got relative confidence that he will get the numbers. It's still and you're actually right. Midfield, we want Rice to keep chipping in. I think of Rice, Zubimendi, and Odegaard needs to pull his finger out, obviously, in that the most, because you should be nearer to goal. But then I find myself looking at, I guess, indirectly the left-hand side. And I want to kind of ask you a lot about this, because to be fair, they're not all left wingers, but I don't think Merino, I don't think much of Kai, but I don't think Merino, Kai, Trossard if he stays, Martinelli, all of these guys, Jesus if he's fit and stays. I don't think they're bad players, but we now want to get over the line. You kind of need to know what you're getting. And for me, if you're going to be a starter, I kind of need to know what I'm getting. If you're going to be a part of the squad, Martinelli kind of esque, I'm all for that. How do you lot feel about the left-hand side? Because a lot of fans, including myself, want to see Madueke now. Just because it's different.
It's a joke. It's a joke. And to be honest, right, you've got to shake our hands, as football clubs, as a team, to think that we're left-hand side, which is really bad, really poor, that we still managed to actually be in his contention and even be discussed as a team that, that can be like that. Martinelli, we think the left-hand side is pretty strong. Even as far back as 21, 22, and then 22, 23, it was impressive. There was goals. There was, like I said, we managed to attack from both areas, but from about late 23, 24, and all of 24, 25 is very bad. But the reason why is because no one's really taking their place, taking the shot at the left-hand side. Tierney's clearly was surface requirement, because when you talk about left-hand side, you've got to talk about defence as well. Calafiori, injury-prone. Mars Lewis-Skelly, sorry to say this, but teams are working him out. Teams are going to, in the minute he gets the ball on the half turn, teams are going to be on him like a swarm of bees, just like they were against Spurs in the pre-season. And if you look down his side,
back for that fact.
Yeah, if you look down his side against when we played Villarreal, the third goal was definitely down his side when he was out of position. So that's an area that we need to we have to have concerns about. Calafiori is not a left back, and then Zinchenko is talking all sorts of silliness about.
No, he's in his feelings, man.
Yeah, but you need to realize one thing about football. You guys all know that football's the most dog environment ever. There's no loyalty. The only people loyal are the fans. The board ain't loyal because they've probably seen players dictate to them what they want and what they don't want, and so the board acts in turn. That's what happens in football. When you're at a big club and that big club doesn't win or win trophies, and they think they can get better in that position, you are vulnerable for your place. That's football. He's been in this business probably since he was 8. Get on with it. Stop being a baby. If you're not happy here, that's fine. That's fine. But you're a Ukrainian captain. You're a Ukrainian international. There's going to be teams that are going to want you because of your experience of playing in the Premiership for Arsenal and previously Man City. So stop whinging. It's going to be all right in the end. You may not get the money you'll need, but hey ho, top players get the big bucks, not average players. And that's not saying he's average. I'm just saying making a point. But that's the defence where we've got issues. Left-hand side, Martinelli's just not good enough anymore. Trossard's just, I'll say it respectfully, he's a dibbly-dobbly. It's a dibbly-dobbly. And DJB knows what I'm talking about. It's a cricketed term where you describe an all-rounder who can do bits and pieces. He might bowl a bit of spin. He might be able to bat. He might be able to field. He's no Ian Botham, and he's no Capital Dev, and he's no Ben Stokes, but he's a dibbly-dobbly. And that's what I call Trossard, a dibbly-dobbly. And
seems like he's had the hump being at Arsenal as well, Trossard, if I'm honest. He wants to leave.
He's still at the football club. He's still not good enough because he's never cemented a place. Even when Martinelli was down the pecking order in terms of his form, there was always a situation that in the big games, he went to Martinelli towards the end of last season when Trossard was fit and raring to go. So if he's not taking a shot, then he's part of the problem. Then you have to look at Reece Nelson. Reece Nelson, we'll keep on waiting for him to come good. That's the next superstar. We've been saying that for 5 years. Finally, we got the message by lining him out. He's still here. Another one is not good enough. So when you
apparently you prefer a 1 year loan, like, rather than a permanent.
1 year loan. Just how about making a break? How about he's no longer associated with Arsenal and he goes and do what Smith Rowe does and go to Fulham where he can enjoy himself and play by the river, have some nice scenes down the River Thames. Probably go and watch a boat race or probably, go to Westfields on a regular basis. But get out of my club. If you can't cement a place after all this time, what are you doing here? Get lost.
If he wants to go on loan, have a good season, and I know he's 25, but have a good season and put himself in the shop window here.
You can put yourself in the shop window as long as there's buyers. Because the sooner he's out of the club, the better. And the same because the fact is that if you're not gonna contribute towards a cause, but you still got a contract, then I don't want you here. I don't need you. The left-hand side is going to be our Achilles heel. We've managed to get away with it because we're so good.
Bordering on 3rd year in a row now. Then,
yeah, because we're so good defensively, and because Saka, is played well in that in the left-hand side, and we've basically, if you look at it from an attacking point of view, we're as good as ignore it now. We're as good as ignore it. We're as good as concentrate to our strong side, which is the right-hand side. So that's a major issue that Arsenal.
And we tactically don't even rely on our left winger as well. If anything, it's our left back and whoever's in the left eight.
Well, our left winger, Martinelli, we actually tend to need him more from a defensive point of view.
This is what I'm saying. It's more he's the collective. At least them lot got individual roles.
That's probably why he plays, because the fact that he's got the pace to get up and down the pitch. But in terms of what we want him to do and what he was doing previously, it's just ain't happening. But the problem we got is that we now got a situation where he has to try something different. He's going orthodox by going to Madueke. Now, a lot of Arsenal fans are thinking, oh yeah, that keeps Eze out the side. Look, they're two different players. Eze, if you want to see him play his best football, and DJ is alluded to loads of times, number 10 where he plays his best football.
Shall I tell you why I want Eze before we get onto Eze, because we're gonna get into him, yeah. When you lot were talking and you were speaking about Norgard and Marino, obviously we've got them, they're going to be utilized. We know they're not quite of the level of the starters, right? But one fear, obviously, is, as what DJB said, you are going to get injuries, you are going to have suspensions. We've got 38 games, we're probably going to play 50, 60, maybe even 70 if we play all of them. And we know where that team, like, as much as I think Zubimendi's better than Partey, I know people were reactionary in the second leg when Partey played and he stunk up the place, but the first leg, everyone was crying about him. My point being, Arteta needs to evolve, but sometimes you take one or two key players out of our team, and you obviously see their absence, but you see a knock-on effect. And then I think to myself, okay, well, we've got Norgard, we've got Marino, give or take. I'd expect Arteta to kind of do the like-for-like thing. But then if you've got Eze and either Rice or Zubimendi are not involved, then you do have the scope to have a lone six, and then, whether it's your Odegaards, your Ranieri's, whoever you want as 8. So that is another attraction to Eze. But I want to kind of part the Eze stuff off. But go on, Kenny, because I want to have a segment about him. But go on.
Yeah, see, that's our situation. We need more from that left hand side. We need quality. I think Madueke, he's got the keys now. He really has the keys. I saw enough in that second leg. Don't get me wrong. We're further, down the road in terms of our fitness and development than Bilbao. But we saw the good things he can do. The fact that he can get get it right down his one-on-ones. He will cross the ball early, which is what we're asking for. What we want for him now is that I want goals as well, because he's capable. All I want from this guy, decision-making, now you're at Arsenal, has to be, I don't want the sort of kamikaze decision-making that I saw a lot of when you're in a Chelsea shirt, where you pick the wrong times to shoot and you pick the wrong times to play that final ball. You've got to be better, better now, because the pressure is on you, because, there's a massive opposition to your signing. You need to shut a lot of people up. You need, in fact, shut us all up. Shut us all up.
If you don't buy a left winger, there's even more pressure on you as well. And there's pressure on the club.
Yeah, and definitely, because he's an orthodox left winger. He's more than capable than tracking back a soul. But most importantly, I don't want him hiding behind his assists. I want goals. So he needs to get that right foot. Work on that right foot, because if he's playing down the left, he's going to have more opportunities on his right foot. So he needs to work on it. But the fact is that moving it forward, Mikel Arteta has got some decisions to make in terms of his team selection this Sunday. He's got some really, really decisions, like, for instance, the Kai Havertz conundrum. Who plays down the left-hand side? Who plays at left back? Who plays at right back? Is he going to unbalance the team and play Tierney and Benjamin White because he feels
or even put Timber left back and then play White? I don't think.
Yeah, but if you think about it, though, he's
playing the square at left back.
Yeah,
what's that?
Could play Mascara at left back.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. Or Kai Havertz. Even though it's Bilbao, you saw that he can come off the bench, but in terms of his fitness, he's further down the line in terms of his fitness than GYOKERES.
Yeah, there is a little worry for me that he's not going to start GYOKERES on Sunday.
I don't think he starts.
I can't see it. I can't see it.
That's what I'm saying. That Mikel's got a decision to make, and he has to go with his gut. But he has to, be brave. Don't just select players because you feel you have to select them. Select the best team can beat Man United, and that means, if it means having to make sacrifice and go ahead,
Just get
do
the 3
it.
points, man.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, but I'm saying that
as long as you can back it up in the press conference after, that's what I'm saying.
I'm telling you now, MLS, Miles Lewis-Skelly, as much as I've got a lot of time for him, that's a risk factor in this first game of the season.
He's not a left back.
Nah, man,
it's getting
no,
out.
No, I'm not talking about him as ability, but teams are targeting him.
Yeah, yeah.
We saw a lot of that in
Same thing happened to Zinchenko in his debut season. This is why Arteta needs to evolve. You kill our inverted left back, we don't have an extra man in midfield.
I don't want all this inverting though. Doesn't work.
It can work, but the thing is that we need to stop giving the ball where he's going to go in the right hand turn. Because every time he gets the ball and he basically goes on the turn, what will happen against Spurs? They're going to wait for him. Because that pass from Raya, when he had his back to goal and he was basically taking the ball on the turn, he could have just looked. He can't see what's behind him, so he could have just think, right, I can feel this guy coming behind me. All he has to do is pass the ball down the left hand side.
And knocked it to Kiwior as well.
Or give it back to Raya. But to try and take the ball in the half turn when you had Sarr in front of you was suicide.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a different game. But I mean, with the Eze thing, I've said it all along. If we sign Eze, he plays in the 10. All this about he's coming in at left wing. Eze's not a left winger. If you put him at left wing, you're going to absolutely kill him as a player. He'll end up like Martinelli. He's not a left winger. You've got to be brave. You bring in Eze, you bring him in for one reason. Let's put him in where he's going to be dangerous and play him in the 10. If that means switching Odegaard on certain occasions, then so be it. But that's what's got to happen.
Really, though?
No, of course he won't. Of course he won't. Absolutely not. If he buys Eze, he's putting him on left wing. But I honestly think, what worries me, right, is we are not far off of being back to square one next season if the injuries come in. Because if anything happens to GYOKERES, we've got Havertz as our main striker. So that is no different than last season.
Who says we won't have Havertz as our main striker for the foreseeable future till he gets fit?
Yeah, it could be. I hope.
Hand and heart. Obviously, if you were Mick Arteta and you based that game on a fitness thing about trying to get something out of a game, obviously. Logic says you start GYOKERES because you spend a lot of money for him, he scores goals. And that logic says even if he gives you 50 minutes, it's better than 90 minutes of a player who's not a striker. But if you were to go into like Mick Arteta's shoes and have empathy for this team selection, you've got a player that's about 70% fit in a big game of the season. And you've got your talisman, who he sees as tactically important. What would you do as your Mick Arteta? Who would you pick up top?
This is for Man United, yeah.
This is not slagging him, Mick Arteta off. It's just,
no.
As fans, we're getting rid of the manager.
I think you've got to start with your talisman.
Well, is this against Man United or like for 5?
I'm saying,
I think you start with your striker, and then obviously if fitness comes in towards the end of the game, then you can bring on Havertz as a fresh pair of legs. But you have to start GYOKERES. You have to start GYOKERES. I mean, that's how I look at it anyway. But the left-hand side is a problem. And as I said, what we should have done, we should have made. That's why I kept saying we need to get our signings in early. When that season finished, we needed to act. We should have acted like a big club wanting to do things. In June, we should have sorted out the Eze release clause. We should have gone all out to get Rodrigo, and then we should now be thinking to ourselves, are we going to get Madueke? Madueke should have been the last option, not one of the first options. Why we've dragged our heels in Eze and Rodrigo, that should have been done during June, rather than keep going after Sesko. He was never going to come to Arsenal. He obviously made his mind. Yeah, he obviously made his mind up. He didn't want to come to Arsenal. Why? How comes Man United got him so easily? Do you know what I mean? So he was never going to come to Arsenal.
He's going to be the main man there. But the fact is, nothing can take away the fact that as much as the majority of Arsenal fans, with the exception of myself, who thought Sesko would be the option. We've discussed this individually, so it's not something new. I'm not disagreeing with you for the sake of it. I think for the way we play, I would prefer Sesko. However,
that's why I wanted GYOKERES.
Nothing's going to change my mind in saying the manager hasn't planned sufficiently and had time to plan sufficiently for GYOKERES, because I'm not convinced that that's his first choice.
Yeah, but when you're in recruitment, surely Sesko and GYOKERES are both there, and they're talking about how they can use them tactically. Because what I don't want people to say, I'm not saying you're saying this, Kenny, but it's not his track card if it don't work.
I hear what you're saying, but this is a player. Sesko was a player that we were basically like watching for a good 2 years. So the long-term plan was there. Don't get me wrong; it doesn't matter anymore because, I think there's loads of stories in terms of like the Arsenal Man United game. I mean, it's basically like a movie script. You think about it. Sesko against GYOKERES. Both players were wanted by Arsenal, and both players were wanted by Man United. That's a story, isn't it?
Yeah. It's going to be electric.
It's going to be a movie, man. We can't lose this.
Do you reckon he'd do madness? Do you reckon? I mean, Mikel Arteta is good at doing madness, but do you reckon he'll do absolute madness and try GYOKERES on the left and have it stand in the middle?
Nah, not against Man United. If I had to guess,
United, but can you see that happening? Can you see that happening this season?
Sorry, guys. Sorry to cut in, but I was going to call him Ellis Diggin. SLD. We need to meet up, man. Because your behaviour and your constant interruptions.
It's you, it's me, it's any of the guests, man.
Well-oiled.
Saying Sesko is world class. I don't remember him ever saying that.
It starts rumours, man.
Yeah. Crazy. No, do you think that'll ever happen though? Because not in the Man United game, but during the course of the season, do you think he will do that like he did at Bamian?
I think in game you'll see it, but I think that's absolute madness for me against Man United. If you put a gun to my head, I actually feel Havertz will probably start, and I would actually like to see Madueke and GYOKERES. Now for Arteta, I don't think he's gonna have two new players in that front three. So like if you see GYOKERES start, you might see Martinelli. If Madueke starts, you might see Kai. If it was up to me, I'm going. And again, on the topic of partnerships, I'm probably going Miles Lewis-Skelly, Madueke. I'd lean towards Timber. Obviously, Saliba, Gabriel, Raya. We all know the midfield of Odegaard, Zubamendi, and Rice, Saka up there. And that's what I would go with. But even that, like I would start GYOKERES purely because how quickly is he? There's no other way for him to get fitness now. So he has to play. If you can give me an hour, you can always come off. Havertz is fitter. You can help us defend the game. Maybe there's a situation like how he scored against Bilbao. Even Ben White and Timber, whichever one starts, I don't think both players have looked fully fit. I don't think they've got 90 minutes. I am considering playing Calafiori. And I'm not saying Miles Lewis-Skelly is the best defensively, but I think Calafiori goes walkabout a bit, and I don't know if it's going to correlate, but them lot got killers, man. Absolute killers in Mbuemo and Cunha in particular. And I expect to see something.
If he gets them all fit, if Amorim can get all three of them fit, and if he gets Baleba, that's disgusting, because I do think like in Man United, they need jet skis in that midfield. There's too many midfielders.
One game a week as well.
Yeah, which I think the one game a week will suit their midfield at the moment. But if you can imagine if you've got jet skis in that midfield, what it'll do is it'll actually like put a ball up, the whole team's arse. They can move the ball a lot quicker. Not only that, when they're out of possession, he can get back and protect that back four with his leg, in terms of like the athleticism. They badly need, the situation. And then what could happen is that all the other guys in and around them, they'll be able to play their football. The Mason Mounts, the Ugates.
Completely
forgot there. I think Fernandes is going to love having those three in front of him, but he'll love it more if they have Baleba behind him.
Yeah, no, he's going to come into his own now. He's got a proper. He's a sort of player that thrives on a proper forward line, Fernandes. And I said this time again, he's going to definitely come into his own, 100%. But
about BERTA. Go on, DJB.
I was just saying though. As I said, there's a lot of things got to happen for us to win this Premier League. We've got to be absolutely flawless from day one. We've got to be on it from day one.
There's no margin for error.
There's no margin for error. And we've got to hopefully stay, keep all our best players fit for as long as you can. because I don't think we've done enough in the market to actually, go that one step further. So Norgard can come on and do a job. He can do a job certain different, he adds a bit of aerial threat, doesn't he? Stuff like that. But no, you can't rely on him week in, week out. And you just hope that if we do keep Martinelli, he'll think to himself, well, hang on a minute, I'm going to have to sort of like turn it on, but I can't see it. I think he's too far gone now.
It's too far gone.
I think Sunday, Madueke is going to start on the left. And I think...
I want to see something new, whether it works or not.
I think Madueke will start on the left. I think GYOKERES will start down the middle. I think Saka. And then, unfortunately, Odegaard. I'd start Wanyeri, but Odegaard starts.
Set pieces are going to be like key on Sunday, because we don't. Because Man United, when I was watching some of their games, set pieces, they're a bit 6s and 7s at set pieces.
Fiorentina, they were out of place, man.
And I saw some of the games in like the Premier League games, that in the US, that they would look confident, played all right, but they still got
they're still patchy
defensively, yeah. But to be honest, so are we.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I've said this with our defending. We're too open on the transitions in pre-season.
Yeah. And that long ball catches us out, especially if it's hit diagonally as well. That really does catch us out. And the problem is, we've got, if we play Ben White and Skelly, they do like to get forward and overlap. The problem is, it's then when they're caught upfield, that's when we're exposed.
Our centre backs are exposed as well.
That's when we're exposed. Massive. Rice then commits. And Rice and Zubamendi's got to get an understanding where in certain situations both of them can't go. They can't be on the edge of their box. One's going to have to sit in. Now, whether that's Zubamendi, whether that's Rice, but one of them's going to have to sit in. Otherwise, we're going to become far too open.
You guys made a really good point, because if you look at the situation, everyone says that we got the tightest defence, and that's not in dispute. However, the best way to be a packed defence is basically is movement, but also like mixing up a bit. Because everyone says that Arsenal, we're very difficult to overload, because what a majority of teams in the Premiership do, they pass the ball and they try to pass the ball quickly. But we got athletes who smell danger. We never get overloaded. But what teams like Liverpool tend to do us quite really well, and I've noticed that some of the other teams in the Premiership do, is that diagonal ball. That's another way where you can
start to do that a bit more in pre-season. Whether it correlates, I don't know.
Yeah, obviously that the opposition are kind of dangerous from our own attacking set pieces, because when it breaks down and we're running back, that's another way to get at us. But that diagonal ball, we got to find a way to be able to not get a diagonal ball. You know what I mean? Or if we're going to play that kind of risk and reward, we have to be on the front foot. We have to be clinical. And I suppose that's where we're looking at GYOKERES, because one thing about Arsenal is we're very good at breaking teams' hearts when we go a goal in front or goal or two in front. It's kind of game over, because we don't give nothing away. You know what I mean?
Last season we did. Like we record points from losing position, from winning position.
I think what it is, in certain cases at Emirates, but in some cases, certain times away from home, we've never let a 2-goal. Did we let any 2-goals lead slip?
Yeah, Aston Villa at the Emirates.
Yeah,
Aston Villa. It's only Aston Villa, isn't it?
Liverpool as well, wasn't it? Liverpool at the Emirates.
No, we basically got the first goal and they equalised.
Oh yeah, we went 1-0, not 2-0, didn't we?
In terms of like we went wrong last season, I think you're right. We've got to get over that kind of first 30 minutes. Like whenever we play teams in the first 30 minutes, if those teams tend to keep a clean sheet, then what will happen is that they get more and more confidence, because as we begin to tire, that's when we're at most vulnerable.
We need to start scoring early against the low blocks.
I think the problem is as well, though, what I saw a lot last season as well, is when our fullbacks did get one-on-one, or when they was on the back foot, crosses were going in. You know, Gabriel was being pulled out of position to cover, and crosses were going in, and we was looking really, really vulnerable. You know, there was crosses going in. So, you know, we've got to find a way to double up on their like they do Saka. We've got to find a way to double up on their sort of key threats as well, like Cunha and people like that. Because one of the things that we're not very good at doing is doubling up on players. We tend to hold our position. We very, you know, our midfield players tend to hold that sort of central position. Odegaard's got to get back and double up a lot more. We've got to start doubling back on a lot of the players. The only problem is, as I said, might be contradicting myself because I want Saka to play in the final third a little bit more. So that's something we've got to look into, because there was lots of games last season. I was watching it from where I sit at the Emirates, and I'm thinking that's far too easy. That ball's just come. That ball's been hit on the diagonal out to their winger, and there's like.
Well, we beat Fulham at the Emirates. That's where I need Arteta to sniff game. Miles Lewis-Skelly was shattered. Like, be a bit more proactive in those scenarios.
And there's acres in front of him, and he's got so many options to sort of, you know, whip the ball in or take the player on. So we've got to try and get a way of shuffling over and doubling up on players to stop crosses coming in far too easy. You know, so there's lots of tactics that we need to work on to make this team win games. And this is, you know, this is why you have to have question marks over the manager in certain games, because in certain games he's needed to be a little bit more tactically. His in-game management has had to be a little bit more better. So hopefully it will improve, but we'll have to wait and see.
I want to talk about Eze, yeah, but I want to speak about this. People, I know you can see wedding dresses. I just typed in BERTA on Google. I don't know what the link is. Of course, I've clicked the link with BERTA in it, but we've kind of dibbled and dabbled on it, yeah. Like, we all knew a big part of Arsenal's summer was getting rid of players. I wanted to get you lot's thoughts in it. It looks like Vieira's going to Stuttgart. Zinchenko apparently is giving consideration to leaving for free. Equally, he's done the interview, as Kenny Ken said, and he's also been speaking, been linked with Porto and things of that ilk. Kiwior's not gone anywhere yet. Trossard, we're still hearing the same old. Nelson, we've gone over that. And also there's Martinelli. Like, are you lot shocked that, okay, cool, we know we're not notoriously good spenders, but nobody has kind of left at this moment, even down to Lokonga?
No, I'm not shocked at all. And the simple reason is because it's down to what's gone on in the past. You've got to remember, you've got Zinchenko sitting on 150,000 a week. You got, you know, Martinelli, I think, is on about 180 grand a week. Kiwior's gone from sort of 6-7 grand up to sort of 50-60 grand a week. You know, and if you was to compare these players to some of the top players in the Premiership at Liverpool and places like this, like Gakpo and everything else, their wages are way ahead of all of them. So what happened was, when Edu and Arteta in the past signed these players, they didn't think about the knock-on effects. They didn't think about, well, it's okay for now, but what's it going to be like in 2 seasons' time when we come to sell them? Because that's the reason why we can't get into them. No club now of any kind of, you know, I'm talking about your Brightons, Palace, West Hams and all that. For the simple reason is they're not going to come in and take a player like Zinchenko on 150 grand a week. It's just not going to happen.
No, not at all.
Not going to happen. And this is the problem.
I think historically we've had issues like that before. You can sort of like rewind back to players like Almunia and Abue, those kind of players.
Oh yeah, it's been going on for ages.
It's something we haven't been able to do, and I think this is where this guy's job's got to be at its best. You know, I'm not saying that Arsenal don't do it, but if you look at the Madueke situation, where Chelsea have kind of overloaded on their wingers, it was clear as night as day that he was told he was surplus requirements because of the fact that there's an overload and he might not get much game time, but he's still an international. I still believe, and I'm not saying that I'm right or I'm a reliable source of evidence, but I think that he was offered to us, you know, offered to Bert, and that's when we said, yeah, why not? Let's have a look at him. Let's get him in, and because he would have been sold to us as a sort of player that can, because Arsenal have been looking for a winger for quite a while. That's just facts. Whenever you speak to anyone, within the club, whoever links to the club, the first position that you'll be told by these guys who are linked to the club, your Wastings, your Jacobs, or even ex-players, they'll every kind of answer I got. I never got the answer about striker. I was told Arsenal need a winger.
Yeah.
That hasn't changed, and that's why if Arsenal need a winger, then it's a no-brainer, that Madueke be offered to us, because it'll be sold that Madueke, albeit plays his football on the right-hand side, but he could also play down the left. So I think that that's what the situation with Madueke. It was kind of what I call an open goal signing, but everything else, and we're going to get to it anyway. It's not. It's been reported by obviously by your Wastings, your Jacobs, that regarding Ebere Eze, from an Arsenal point of view, Arsenal are waiting for player sales in the forward line in order to consider Ebere Eze, whilst Spurs don't want to meet the make the clause, they want to expire, and Spurs have been courting the guy for 2 years, and whoever you listen to, Fabrizio says, well, he's keen to join Spurs. So it's a case of.
I think we're in a situation now where we've got to sell to bring players in. I mean,
but do we have to do that, DJB, or do we want to do that? I think it's a case of have to, and I think it's a case of both. I think it's a case of have to and want to, because these players are scarring the kind of years gone by. This is why Arteta and everything's has to answer the questions, and they do, and what they've done. They bought in bang average players. The simple fact is they bought in players that weren't good enough for Arsenal. They bought in, and this was my worry this season. They've not learnt by their mistakes in the past, because you bring in bang average players on high wages, straight away you've got a problem for the future regime coming into the club. Because what's happening is you've got clubs that won't buy bang average players, and if you put high wages on top of that, then they're not going anywhere. This is why we're going to. This is why players have to go for free. This is we have to get players off the wage bill. So we've spent 150. Say Zinchenko, for example, we spent all that money to sign him. We've put him on 150 grand a week. He's been at the club 2 years, nearly 3 years. So he's been taking all them wages. We've paid all that for him. And then suddenly, he could be potentially going for free. I mean, it's just madness. Now that ain't BERTA, but this was all done before BERTA was even on the horizon. He's inherited these things.
This guy now's got to come in, and he's got to somehow try and shift players. And we're not going to make any money on them. We're going to lose on whoever we sell. We're going to lose on, because they're either going to go for free or they're going to go out the door for something like 5 mil, 10 mil.
There's a lot of talk about loans for half of these players, Nelson, Kiwior,
and then you're talking about loans. But the trouble is with loans, unless you get an option to buy, or they're coming back.
Obligation.
And then you've got the problem again. This is why I keep saying this has been down to bad management in the past, because these players have come in and not really made any impact in the squad, and now it's coming back to bite us in the backside, because
we don't sell when their stock is kind of high. You could say Smith Rowe previously. You could have said Ainsley Maitland-Niles many years ago. Eddie as well, and Nelson.
We can't shift them. And the thing is, right, as well, is the reason why Chelsea are so astute in the market is because they will sell their market opportunities in the academy setup. So young players will come through, and if they think that they're not good enough for the first team, but they're
20,
okay,
30, 40, 15 here, there, and everywhere.
They'll go and sell them for like 15 million, 20 million, and things like that. Whereas we're not. We don't even shift our way from the academy. We let academy players go on free. And then other clubs then sell them for 25, 30 million. I mean, we've always been notoriously bad of selling players.
You know what Chelsea did really well, though, GJB? You know what they've done? Especially, when there's a period under Abramovich. If you notice the amount of players that were either playing in Europe, in the European leagues, or the amount of players that are playing at Premiership clubs, or even in some cases, the Championship, their parent club was Chelsea. So what Chelsea did really well was that they made use of the loan system really well, and they used it to their advantage to the extent that these players were getting experience, at certain Premiership clubs, get experience in Europe and experience in Championship. So when they were football, what I call first team ready, they could actually dictate the price. Whilst with Arsenal, not only are we struggling to get rid of our assets, even the younger players coming through may not be good enough. We're not making use of that loan system in order to get them football ready. And we're only doing it it's kind of the 11th hour with Reece Nelson, but probably that's something we should have been doing on a regular basis quite a while.
We need to do the multi-club structure, rework how we loan our players and all of that, and bridge the gap to the first team. Because as you said there, Kenny, it's one thing the players that make it, sell the ones that can't. Joe Willett, Balogun, Eddie, these guys should be the minimum. That should be the minimum trend at this club. Surely
that's what Edu should have been doing when he was at the football club, and surely this is what Andrea's got to do as well when he's here. So
you want to trust Edu? He went to Brazil and brought Marquinhos.
Yeah, you say that, but that's probably the way we're going to have to go. But the situation is regarding Arsenal. Are Arsenal doing what other clubs do? Are Arsenal saying, look, figuratively speaking, this player's for sale? I don't know if they're doing that, because the reason why I'm asking that question is because it's evident that the players that we've got in from Chelsea have, in my opinion, been recommended to us. They've been told their surface requirements, and they've alerted clubs like Arsenal that these guys are available, because that's clearly what happened with Czech. That could have happened with Willian. Could have happened with. Well, I think Willian was a different kettle of fish, where he wanted a longer contract to Chelsea. We gave him the contract he wanted. You know what I mean? But in terms of Kai Havertz, that's probably one of the biggest mysteries of ever, how he ended up with us. I still don't know how the negotiations were. I can't even speculate about those negotiations. But with Madueke, it shouts that we were alerted to his availability.
Yeah, no, facts. I think he was just offered to us, and we took it. We took it that we saw something in him that, was a replace could play on both sides. Possible replacement for Saka if he goes injured or suspended.
Can't underestimate the fact that he's 23 as well.
And then the fact of the matter is, what's happened is, because of the decline in Martinelli, suddenly Madueke's got his chance now, probably to shine on the left.
And probably
so. No, it is a problem for BERTA now. It is a real problem for BERTA, because the simple matter of the fact is we need to shift these players. Fabio Vieira ain't going to get game time. Nelson's not going to get game time. You've got the emergence of Max Dowman coming through in the wings as well. You got Wanyeri signed a new contract, so these players are just going to be sitting there. And then you got Jesus, people forgetting about him, 280 odd, another 250 plus pounds a week. He's fit and ready to go. So come next season, the middle of next season, Christmas time, January time, where's he going to play? Because he ain't going anywhere. Who's going to buy him? We just got to hope a Saudi club comes in for him. And then I reckon this is someone like Jesus and eventually Havertz. I think the Saudi club's the only option, because we're not going to be able to sell them to any other Premier League team. No one's going to come in for Jesus. I wouldn't have thought so anyway. Not on them wages.
How do you lot feel about Eze then? Because some fans, rightly so, would be like, oh, we're only hearing this sell to buy stuff around Eze. It wasn't a case with Madueke. And you look at the players that have come in, granted a bit late, but they've come in.
Well, what I think about it? The thing about it is that it is something I've been mentioning for quite a while. It's something that, as soon as we were off the off season and the the window kind of started officially and unofficially, that was what my biggest concern was, is that you from a financial point of view, you can't, it doesn't make financial sense, especially when we're within the PSR FFP framework, that you can spend all that dough without, having, selling players. You've got to make some sort of sacrifices so you can stay
Like
with
last summer.
Yeah, well, last summer was definitely to recruit, and I still think, rightly or wrongly, that the reason why we didn't get a striker because we were waiting for Sesko.
Yeah,
no, that's pretty feasible.
You know what I mean? But in terms of like this season, we spent a whole load of money. We've got some we've got some players in. We've got the striker that majority of Arsenal fans wanted. Not quite what Mikel wanted, but we've got the striker that the majority of Arsenal fans wanted. They wanted
We've got a striker. It doesn't matter individually. Everyone knows we need a striker.
They wanted this striker because this striker, in terms of his goals ratio per game, you had to take notice of it. So we've got this striker. We've got the long-term target of Zubimendi that we're always after. Madueke was a bit of a south side signing, but
couple
still
new contracts.
money. And then obviously you've got Mosquera, young lad who played for Spain's under-21s, did all right, but he's one for the future. So and then obviously you've got Nolgaard, what I call open goal signing, big bit of money. We need something physical in the midfield now. Potentially we've lost Thomas, we need something physical. And then we were crying out for a number 2. So we've got the number 2. So with all that money we spent and potentially spending on wages, we're gonna sacrifice what out of money. It's not that's the way things have got to be, especially if you want Eze, because Eze is a sort of thing where I think the club's waiting for the release clause to expire, because I didn't see anyone. Did Spurs that release clause were even there when Spurs were caught in them, but they didn't activate it. Everyone knows Arsenal are talking about Eze in terms of like what he can do at the football club and that Arish in him, but they haven't activated that release clause either. No. So that's probably why Madueke has come before Eze, because he hasn't got a release clause.
But do you think they want Eze like that? Because we do hear, the fact that Nwaneri signed a new deal kind of makes us live a bit carefully. We're probably not going to see a Zubimendi or a Rice dropped and you have an 8. We're probably not going to see Odegaard, whether people like it or not, dropped. And he's not necessarily a left winger. So is there, as much as we like him, the people...
Do you know what, though? The more I think about this, DG, as I said, this guy should have been priority early in the transfer window. He should have been probably one of the first signings we made. We should have got this guy. Then we should have got Madueke. Should have been the priority last. He should have been last down the line. Whether it release clauses, no matter how much he would have cost, we should have gone right. We had players to do deals with Crystal Palace. We could have offered Nelson and all players like this and done some sort of deal. So we should have got Eze before Madueke. We should have made this guy a priority in June. The fact that we've hung it out to dry and we've taken too long over it is a chance now we might not get him. Now that leads me to believe I'm not sure Arteta's actually 100% wants this guy. And it wouldn't surprise me now. It wouldn't surprise me now that we don't see anyone come in this transfer window.
I hear what you're saying, but is it because he's firmly behind his captain that
it's an unprecedented summer?
His captain. I'm not
100%.
But from a business point of view, right, there's Arteta, but the club that's a business, we're not the only club that hasn't activated the release clause. And
remember he's 27 and resale value.
This is why I'm starting to think. I wasn't at the start of the transfer window, but as the transfer window's gone on now, and the pre-season's done, and where I've seen him play Madueke, Havertz coming into the frame, Odegaard still playing week in, week out, I just think he's happy with his squad. I'd be very surprised if we get another player through the door, unless we get a kind of last-minute loan deal or something like that. But I'll be very surprised if we get Eze now. Rodrigo, I've said all along, we ain't getting him.
Yeah, all of us would forget that.
I said that was a pipe dream back in May. forget Rodrigo. We was never getting Rodrigo. This guy should have been snapped up by now. He should have been in an Arsenal shirt long ago. Unfortunately, for some reason or another, we've only really kind of starting to make an interest in him because Spurs are involved.
Do you reckon?
And I honestly believe that if we was 100% serious about signing Eze, we'd have got him by now. And I don't think
there's another conundrum, guys. There's another conundrum, DJB and DG. And it's conundrum that probably will make you want to sort of throw a glass bottle into the next door's window. Because the thing that we haven't discussed is a sort of thing that Arsenal fans are very, very good at doing, or they're saying. If we buy this player, it's going to block Max Dowman's.
Forget all of that. I'm not trying to hear none of that.
Yeah, but no. Do you think?
So then, what do people want?
Do you think that because Arsenal are like I said, amused and probably like said leaked details that they're happy with their squad because part of their like I said, their business was to get a new contract, is to renew Nwaneri's contract, get him on a long-term contract, and then we've now got a young player coming through in Max Dowman, who excited a lot of people in the pre-season tour. Obviously, he's a young lad, but we got that option, we got that pathway. So, if on a club trying to sort of like water down our expectation by saying, well, yeah.
No, because then you're not serious about immediately. Then because then what? Like you're gonna put all your I don't even know the word, but all your eggs on Dowman, and then even if Dowman doesn't play week in week out, quote unquote, it doesn't really make sense. I hear what you're saying, Kenny, because I do think some of our fans kind of fall into that and get in that trap. But you can't have it all both ways. You can't want to develop young players, want immediate results now, rotation and play. You need a big squad. For me, I'm bringing Eze. He's a multifunctional attacking player.
100%. I think I've been saying that this guy was really important, and we need to sign him. And if we've got a chance of signing him now, go and get him, because in order for GYOKERES to score goals, as I said, we need to get more creative. If you've got him in the team with Saka and possibly Odegaard as well on occasions.
And it takes the pressure off Dowman and Nwaneri, because let's have it right. 20 games. We don't know what we're getting from them. I think it was Kenny who said the Leicester game was the first one. Nwaneri over 90 minutes was a threat. So it's not even fair to them to go down that route.
I'm not looking at Max Dowman at the moment, to be honest with you. I still think that he's only going to be used very, very sporadically. Carabao Cup games, certain FA Cup games possibly. But I have said my concerns about Nwaneri. I think if we sign Eze, I can see Nwaneri not getting that much game time, to be honest, because if pure and simple,
can he go down the loan route then?
I've said Nwaneri could end up like Smith Rowe, where we put him out on loan if we get Eze, and I've said that from day one, because he'd be way down the pecking order, because Havertz will be before him. Odegaard, we know.
Yeah, you got to remember, Havertz is another one that could play in that Odegaard role in Arteta's man.
Eze will be before Nwaneri. So Nwaneri will place, again, Carabao Cup games, certain FA Cup games. He might come on. He ain't going to start. He ain't going to get much game time if we get Eze. But I'm just open-minded about it. I think if we was really, really serious about Eze, we'd have got him by now. And this is what makes me think now the season's going to start on Sunday. I think this guy's happy with the squad he's got. I really do.
I think so as well. But
I think he thinks that he's done more than enough, and I think he thinks that his coaching abilities he's going to win us the Premier League.
I'm going to cause some more trouble, because I love causing trouble these days, but it's actually for footballing reasons. What we've done is we kind of sort of like swerved, this issue about the player's preference. We know everyone collectively wants this player. Everyone collectively feels we need this player. But, a big but, we know there's an obstacle in the way in terms of the captain, because deep down we know his best position is where Martin plays. in a kind of different kind of role. However, we're hearing from Fabrizio that he's keen on the move to Spurs. Now, if it's not turning us up, and we look at the fact he's keen, in World Cup year, and you look at Arsenal's stat squad, you look at the fact that we think he's an upgrade on Odegaard, but the manager doesn't. He goes to that lot. He goes to that lot in World Cup year. That's guaranteed first team football. He'll get more money. He'll play games. But if we were to go into, like the spirit of the age, or Eze's zeitgeist, and we're hearing he's keen to go to Tottenham, is he keen to go to Spurs because of those things I flagged up? Guaranteed first team football.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I said it on Potsy's channel yesterday. I mean, if you take your Arsenal hat off and look at it from Eze's point of view, he's getting to the back end of his 20s now. He's not going to have too many World Cups. He's got a World Cup year to play next season. Is he going to want to come to Arsenal?
And they're in the champs.
To try and fight for his place against Odegaard. And he certainly ain't going to come to Arsenal if they've told him that he's going to be our left winger, because he even knows that ain't his position. He'll do a job there on occasions for Palace, but every Palace in the land will tell you that Eze's not a left winger, and he knows he's not a left winger. So if he's being told to come here as a left winger and all this, then he has to think. He might think logically and go, well, because a lot of people say, well, why would he choose Spurs over Arsenal? Well, regular first team football.
You got to remove your emotion from that. Like that
regular first team football in a World Cup year is one of the reasons why he would choose Spurs over Arsenal.
Regular football, Champions League, probably going to be a starter. And for me, it will come down to they're actually trying to sign him.
You have to ask questions. This is why you have to have question marks over the manager, because other managers will drop anyone if they feel that they need to do that. Would this manager drop Odegaard and take the captaincy away from him if he's? I
don't know about the captaincy, but I think last season,
if he's going to put the performances in like he did last season, is he willing to go right? Okay,
you're going to have to.
We're going to put Eze in, or we're going to try Wanyeri or someone, because this is the thing. He has got to stop thinking of individuals and think more about winning games, because we have to win trophies. Simple as that.
Big up Jimmy for the super chat. Eze would unlock the Glock. Facts. Do you lot share that?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think he's key. I think with GYOKERES, when we made a striker our priority, the next priority should have been Eze, and we should have got him by now. He should have been wearing an Arsenal shirt by now. We shouldn't be having this debate whether he's going to go Arsenal.
DJB, the club you know,
I know.
Right?
It's been doing it for years.
You're getting to know. The magic word and the buzzword is release clause.
Yeah.
I don't even blame them for wanting to negotiate below his release clause. I would love Eze. I just think it's not to say Arteta or Arsenal don't rate Eze. I just think the way you lot at the club are looking at Eze and the way us three and people in the chat are looking at Eze are two very different worlds apart. I don't think, obviously it's not the end of the world, but it kind of would be for me, because I kind of want Eze. I just think it's business as usual for Arsenal. I don't even think they're looking at the individual qualities of what Eze can bring. It's just another multifunctional player, which is why I want it. Like, again, give Arteta everything. Like, as I said earlier, we got 38 games, 50, 60, maybe 70 games all season at club level. These guys are going to be playing for England. We need different options. Not everybody has to start every game, and it just gives us a lot of things to do. I hope we get it. If we don't, we'll need another one.
DG and DJB, one thing about Mikel Arteta is that bad Mikel is married to his system. Bad Mikel thinks that only certain personnel can play in that system. Bad Mikel plays them till they run into the ground. Two players, his head boy, his favourite son, and one of his prefects got long-term injuries because of being overplayed. Those two Odegaard didn't get didn't get his injury from overexertion. He got his injury from a knock against Brighton, and he never really recovered from that. You know, knock to his ankle where Brighton just kicked him out of the game. But these guys got injuries, hamstring injuries down to overexertion. I'm not going to put Gabriel Magalhaes in that thing, and it's not to discredit him, but defenders really, they're dormant. They're like bouncers. The guys that you know prepare the cocktails, or the DJs who get people dancing on the floor. They're the ones that I think we should be interested in. Two of his DJs and the guy who makes the cocktails got big injuries because no matter what, they had to be on that roster. Bolton in the cup, Preston in the cup. Games
even
where
when Champions League was kind of qualified, we're still having to use it.
Got to get the rotation sorted. 100%.
Both of them featured in
Was
that
it PSV
game
when we won like 7-1 or something? They were still out there.
Yeah. So that's a guy that is married to his system. That's why I say there's bad Mikel.
That's why you need to use Mosquera and Kiwior now.
I think Mosquera will be used quite a bit, actually.
I like him, man.
I think he'll be used quite a bit. I think he's going to be used. I think you'll see him pop up quite a lot, which ain't bad. I've quite liked him from what I've seen of him.
He's going to drop some clangers, but there's light at the end of the
have to wait and see. Yeah, we've got to wait and see. That's what I'm saying. It's really hard to judge because, listen, the pressure this team, the pressure this football club is under next season for success is incredible. And that will be evident right from day one. All the media will be on them. The pundits will be on them.
Us fans will be having
social media, fans. This guy has left himself a lot to do because he's had a lot of money spent on the club. He's built a team. He's got us competing. If he doesn't go to the next level now, he knows he ain't stupid. He knows the pressure's on him.
But is there really pressure? Because David Ornstein, because we're on the theme of talking about the Athletic and Ornstein and all these guys, it's not to say you wouldn't be sacked. Obviously, I don't want to get to that scenario because I hope we win and we're happy as Larry, right? But they've been consistent all summer in saying the external pressure placed on Arteta is not shed internally. I'm not to say you don't need to deliver and all that. I think that's
it all down, DG. I think that's a smoke screen just to keep it all calm within.
Fair.
I think that's a smokescreen just to keep it calm within the camp. He knows now. You can't be a manager of Arsenal Football Club and have what it's had spent on it. And now he's got his number 9. You know, he's got Havertz, if you want to call him a backup. You know, apparently now we've got we've got the squad. You know, Norgard and everyone else. According to a lot of fans, we've got the strength in depth, etc., etc., etc. There's no excuses now. It has to be delivered this season, and he knows that. He knows that. And if he doesn't, and he doesn't want to face getting the sack, then do the right thing and walk away. Hold your hands up.
Get your severance package.
Berta's here, isn't it? Berta is using his private shower. Berta's using his private.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah, of course he is. And Berta knows.
People are going to hide behind Berta. Because I already know the GYOKERES thing. If GYOKERES struggles, Arteta didn't want him, he wanted Tesco. What does that mean? If I wanted Isaac and I got Haaland, you got to make things happen.
Excuses are there already. I mean, he apparently he says there's 8 teams that can win the Premiership, but he hasn't named them, Arteta. So,
you know what he's done. You know what he's done.
There's things in place already, isn't there?
Well, you know what Mikel's done, isn't it? Mikel's basically gone for percentages. He was asked a question. He basically said, right, the top 6, that's an open goal that was offered to him. So you talk about the top 6. Who are the teams that with money outside the top 6? Newcastle not part of the top 6, so that's 7. Number 8 is Aston Villa.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
The
so
PR
that's what he's doing. He thinks he's smart, but there's us 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Who can see what, you know what he's doing. But the thing about it is that realistically, if you were to ask us today, the 13th of August, where you think Arsenal are going to finish, Two questions you got: will Arsenal compete at all four fronts, or will they prioritise the two trophies that eluded them in 23-24, and in 25 they got to the semi-finals of the other trophy competition that eluded them?
Oh man, you know the Premier and the champs take precedent. Even though I want us to compete on all, and again, if you find yourself in a semi-final in the League Cup,
who are the favourites? Who are the favourites? Who are your favourites individually, not collectively, but individually? Who are your favourites for the league individually?
Liverpool City.
Champions League. I've got two questions for you in the Champions League. Who is going to win the Champions League?
I mean, naturally, it's the usual ones, isn't it? You expect Real Madrid, Barcelona, Paris Saint-Germain, historically.
I think Barcelona will win the Champions League next season.
Yeah, you think, Barca and PSG.
I don't think
them kind of teams. And then we're the best of the rest. You can throw Liverpool in there as well because of their heritage.
Well, I'll throw Chelsea in as well then.
Yeah, no, that's what you're waiting for. Part B. Which English club is best equipped to win this tournament?
Chelsea.
Liverpool.
Chelsea, because they're not going to be, realistically, they're not going to be. They don't have to. Their fans won't demand that they have to win the league. Their fans be happy for them to compete, but they'll. I quite like them. With the squad, I think what we saw last year in the Champions League is that young legs won that tournament. Mm. And Chelsea's a very young team.
I think Arsenal will make the same mistake as they did last season in their semi. I think if they get to the semi,
what I'm going to say about Chelsea, whenever Chelsea are in European Cup competitions,
you can't discredit them, man. They find a way to get it done.
You always make sure you sleep with your one eye open or you sleep with the lights on.
Mm. Yeah. No, I mean Chelsea. Listen, I think Chelsea are going to be a surprise this season. I don't think you can write Chelsea off either competition. Personally, you know, I think they're going to be. They're going to make mistakes. They're not brilliant at the back and that, but I don't know. I think
next season.
I think there's something. I think there's something about Chelsea next season, and that's what they're the team that worry me to finish above us if we're not on it.
Mm.
You know, I think Chelsea, I wouldn't be surprised if we're not on it next season. I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea don't finish above us next season. But the fact that we are saying Liverpool and Man City are favourites to win the Premiership tells you all you need to know. Because this guy,
it's just based on quality, isn't it?
Exactly.
Quality.
And for me, it's just lived experience.
It's based on quality, and we've had £1 billion nearly spent on the football team, and we're still lacking in quality.
We haven't quite grasped the fine margins.
I don't see how we're lacking in quality when we've had that much money spent on it. I don't see why we haven't got a Rodrigo at the team at the club. I don't. You got Liverpool got Verts. You got Liverpool got Verts. They're still probably going to get Isak over the line.
Oh, definitely. He's been tapped up.
Etitike. You got all these players that rocked up at Liverpool, and yet the manager's only been there one season. One season.
He's smart though. He's smart.
But this is what
he knew when to try and reinvent the wheel and when not to.
What I'm saying is, Kenny. What I'm trying to say is, Kenny. How have we got a manager that's nearly been at the football club for 7 years, with all that money spent on it? And here we are looking at a manager that's just walked through the door with a better quality team.
It's the way we play. You think is our transfer, the way we play, our transfer activity represents one, who we are as a football club, and most importantly, it represents the way that Mikel wants to play. He's still his first, destination is to make us difficult to beat. And then once we're beat, then we can get in at the front.
Yeah, but I think he's going to have to change that.
In an ideal world, everyone plays football against us, and then he cleans up. Like Govind Mudha has made a very good point. We don't agree with the first point you made, Govind. We are nowhere without Mikel Arteta. However, the second point is if we win the FA Cup and Carling Cup next season, would that be enough? Govind, it'll give him another year. Don't know about you, DJB.
Yeah, I think it'll give him another year. I mean, it won't be. It'll be enough for me because I just want a trophy. I just want a trophy.
Exactly.
It won't be ideal. There's a difference between is it ideal or is it enough? Ideally, I want the Premiership or the Champions League. Champions League first priority, Premiership for me second priority. But if you're going to give me an FA, it all depends how we do. If we just miss out on the Premiership by a point, if we go all the way in the Champions League and we miss out in the semi-final, and then you give us an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup, then you start thinking, okay, well, he's got.
What if we get to those positions without trophies? What if we get to the?
Yeah, what if we get 99 points in the Premier League and the team above us gets 100? Does he still get sacked for you lot?
No, in order for him,
you've got to get past that unlucky tag. You have to get past that unlucky tag.
No, but the problem is,
do you remember the guy at Pellegrini at Real Madrid when he finished second? When he finished second at Barcelona, how many points did he get?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, Kenny, what you got to realise is now we was nowhere near that Premiership last season. I know we finished second,
a false image, man.
But we were second.
I mean, we earned the right, but we all know in our hearts that we probably should have finished below that.
Liverpool switched off the gas hob. Liverpool switched off the gas hob. Their feet was off the gas way before the season has ended. We was never in contention. I think the average points we was behind Liverpool all season was 7 points. We was never in touching distance with Liverpool. So we dropped off dramatically last season, and we've got to make that up because Liverpool have strengthened. And that's last season. This season, they're going to be stronger, and we've got to make it up. So, yeah, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, of course it'll be nice.
Yeah, but then what do you say to comments like this then? Because, you know, you lot have pointed out the money Arteta spent, but then when you look at Chelsea spending $4.5 billion in 5 seasons, we haven't even spent half of that. Like, is it fair to mention the spending thing with Arteta? For me, it is, because I hear it. Other people have spent more, and you have got some signings right, but we've also flunked a bit. And we, for me, in these 3 years, bordering on 4, where we've been in these Premier League,
one more trophies.
Some of these things should be, exactly. Some of these things should be.
Still won more trophies than us. Doesn't matter what they've spent. They've still. Man United under Ten Hag spent a lot of money, but they've still won more trophies than us in the last 10 years.
And many will say we still got second with injured players.
Chelsea have won everything. Chelsea have won everything.
Yeah, but injuries happen every time. I think what's happening is that
we never had the depth, regardless.
The thing with money, there's nothing wrong with. There's a lot of people who mistakenly say that Chelsea and Man City have bought their success, but you say they bought their success. They still had the best. They still have the best sporting directors in the business.
They still spent correctly. Spending was everything. United would be the big bad bully still.
The thing is, was it the money, or was it because the money bought them the best sporting director in the business and the best players,
competence in all aspects,
and the best manager? But the other day, does money? But the other day, you can't. Money does not result in player mentality. You still have to have the right characters, because they spent a lot of these teams have spent money, and some of them have been crap. You saw some of the players that Man City bought in the reign. You know, Scott Sinclair. They spent a lot of money for him. What happened to him? What about Jack Rodwell? What about the guy from Swansea who had a really good season? I think.
Yeah, when Pep came in, they started spending competently, and they walked away actually from several deals. Jorginho, Maguire, the list goes on.
Yeah, but you look at Chelsea; they spent money on Fernando Torres. That didn't work out. Zinchenko didn't work out, did it? God bless him. Sean Wright Phillips didn't work out, really, did it?
You still got to have the game plan, haven't you? No matter who you got. I mean, look at Leicester. I mean, you know, what money did they have? And look, they won the Premiership. So it doesn't always work. You still got to have the man in the dugout to change things and make things happen. All I'm saying is that we need to win a trophy, whether it's FA Cup. I mean, people are. Yeah, listen, it's not priority. It's not the main. It's not the main thing. But we need to win. This club needs success. The fans need it. The players themselves need it. It has to win a trophy next season, no matter what. We can't not win a trophy next season, and we're not going to keep winning. We're not going to win anything if fans keep coming out and saying, "Oh yeah, but if it weren't for injuries, Listen, it's in the risk assessment for every manager at the start of the season.
Exactly.
It's in the risk. Every manager at the start of the season know they're going to get injuries. They know they're going to get suspensions, right? That's in the risk assessments. It's how you deal with adversity. Yeah. If you keep making
never going to have perfect conditions, get away from that.
Keep making excuses about injuries and all of that, you ain't ever going to get over the line. Injuries don't, making excuses don't bring you success.
It's not even that they're excuses. It's just, this is going to happen. Arteta for the last 2-3 years, they said we've got one of the smallest squads. So let's do something about that.
Because there weren't many injuries when we rocked up against Newcastle over 2 legs. I think the only player out was Gabriel. We had a full squad.
And I remember 2 seasons ago where we had a couple of injuries, and we still ran it to the wire.
Yeah, and we was absolutely appalling. There weren't no injuries when we lost to PSG in the semi-final of the Champions League. So let's get.
Nobody cared about injuries when we beat Real Madrid. So these things happen.
No one was talking about injuries when we beat
Real
Madrid.
But they happen.
So it's all got to stop. All this nonsense of injuries, red cards, nonsense of the ball,
like they're unique to us.
It's all got to stop. All this has got to stop, and this is what the manager has done as well. He's kind of put that into a lot of fans' heads.
It's a bit defeated with some of our fans.
Because what he comes out with in the press conferences, he's got to start taking accountability. He's got to start taking some accountability of when things.
He's got no choice. He's got no. I think what's happened, whether he likes it or not, and despite the fact that there's going to be a lot of fans who are going to try and shut the noise down, especially the fact is that you'll find all of you guys who own YouTube channels that your content will be scrutinized, will be watched, and your views will go up on the basis that this is a make and break season. I don't think that the viewers who are
every week we win, we're amazing. Every time we lose, we're shit.
It's not even that. People are watching the reactions of Arsenal fans because this is a year where if Arsenal don't win, there's going to be proper meltdowns, and everyone who either supports Arsenal or supports other clubs are ready to pounce and watch the videos. That's why every content is going to have eyes, and that because every content is going to have eyes, the people who are behind Mikel Arteta, especially the chosen ones, they won't be able to sort of like stop the processors getting through to the shop window or getting through into the shop. They won't be able to stop that.
We win, man.
Yeah, because they're going to do their own sort of thing. Oh yeah, have him down the Union Chapel, start singing songs, start slagging everyone else off. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. We're all going to be able to probably say our piece. And I always say it right now. I'm not asking for anarchy. What I am saying, don't just rely. If you're unhappy with the manager, don't rely on just the usual suspects. Me, DJB, Lee Gunner, Jez, Northside, Matty, Dan, to do all that. Shane, all those guys to sort of do calling out for you because no one's going to listen to us. People think we're mad, and people think we're one step away from a cuckoo's nest. It's you guys who have to go on your Talk Sport and your 5 Live. Stay away from people like Shabana Hearn, the ghastly Shabana Hearn. We speak to impartial phone presenters who will listen to what you've got to say.
There's too much invested agendas, though, man. As you're alluding to, there's people that are going to thrive off negativity. There's people that are going to thrive off dishonest, toxic positivity. Where there has to be a middle ground. If the sun's shining, tell people the sun's shining. If it's raining, tell people it's raining. If it's raining, but there's going to be sunshine and vice versa, tell them that.
Positivity has been the winner since probably in the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, but bland positivity is nonsense.
Yeah, but the problem is,
show me evidence. Don't tell me everything's going to be all right. You're being negative.
The problem is the media, Sky Sports, in conjunction with the club and in conjunction with the people who have digital handles or YouTube channels, all these guys who have YouTube channels got agents. I'm not saying you got an agent. I'm not saying you got an agent, DJB. But the guys who go onto the overlap have agents. The guys who are in that sort of like puerile pile of shit that William Hill served us up, where he had all these Arsenal fans doing little penalties and everything. Like some of them couldn't even kick a ball. They couldn't even kick a ball. They look the part, but they couldn't even kick a ball. And I'm not talking about the women. That's a sort of shit that they basically put in our midst. All these guys are contrived agents who are briefed what to say.
It's
Don't say
WWE,
this.
man.
Say that. Don't say this. We know for a fact that AFTV were briefed before they went into the press conference this season. So that's toxic positivity. That's controlled. You know, like I said, viewpoints within a controlled environment.
No, we have to. The bottom line is, right, we have to have success next season.
How do we do that? Because that's what, like DJB, because you touched on it, like this comment is saying, because I think you're going to get into it. Let's talk about what we need to be able to get over the line.
We need a manager. Well, as I said before, the buck stops whoever the manager. The buck stops on. He picks the team. He sets the tactics. He tells how the players have got to play. So you can only look at the manager. Yeah, there's going to be players that'll have off games, and you're thinking, he's out of form and that's out of form. But the simple matter is, he's got to be a little bit more ruthless. He's got to be braver. His in-game management has got to be more on it, and he's got to make big decisions at the right times. You know, you can't get to a semi-final of a Champions League and you're looking for him to make big changes. You're looking at players to, come off the wing and perhaps play more central, and you're looking at Odegaard to stop getting isolated and moving perhaps more central. You're looking at things to be different. And what does he come out with? Party taking long throw-ins and players being pushed away by Raya because he wants to boot it 30 yards. Listen, that's not me having a go at Arteta. That's fans seeing it with their own eyes. You don't need to be an Arteta in or an Arteta out to know the tactics that were played. Look at it against Man United in the FA Cup. He never changed anything. Man United could have sat there till now and would have got a draw. He didn't change anything. Carabao Cup, Newcastle. Didn't change a thing. Didn't change it. Was, the second leg, we were passing. They were just sitting back. They was hitting us on the break. And these are the things that he's got to have learned. He has to learn by his mistakes. He's got to find ways to break low blocks down. He's got to find ways to change it up. And I think I don't think he can do it. I honestly don't think he can do it. I think he's very set in his ways. I think it's his way or no way.
Yeah.
I think the players have become too predictable.
Robotic.
I think they've become robotic. I think it's too predictable. And that is just my opinion. It's no hate against Arteta. It's just what I see. And that's why I said...
They're valid points, because...
He's reached his ceiling and he's past his sell-by date. He should have gone. But we're with him, so we've got to wait and see and get behind the team. That's all we can do.
The fact is, come the Man United game on Sunday, the mainstream media are going to be musing that. They are going to say the manager's under pressure to win something, and they are going to look at the acquisition of GYOKERES, and they're going to say things. Obviously, no doubt, the usual suspects who think they speak for the club are going to say, "Oh, Sky hate Arsenal, BBC hate Arsenal, Match of the Day hate Arsenal, referees hate Arsenal." Whenever Arsenal do something, they take the mickey out of our celebrations when we win the match. Oh, they got in for us. All that sort of silliness. When I always say, under George Graham, when the media were having a go at us, we had the currency, trophies. In the first 10 years under Arsene Wenger, especially when people were talking about dirty Arsenal, talking about the amount of selling officers we had under Arsene Wenger, we're talking the late 90s, early 2000s. What was that currency? Trophies and a great team.
On the way to get it done, man.
So when people slagging Arsenal off, all I had to do was just go on a Saturday and watch us smash teams. And at the end of the season, it's highly likely that I was watching us win the FA Cup or watching us win the league. That was my currency, and that was my defence. My shield. Unfortunately, we're only going to shut up the haters if we start winning things regularly and we
And
start
some
being
Arsenal
that.
fans need to stop biting that external
Well, yeah,
influence.
but they
I
bite
know it's
because
annoying, but
yeah, but you know why they bite is because they know that if they're the first people to comment, they're the first people that not only for start they'll be the first people reviewed, but what they really want is the prize of the Blue Peter badge for being the best Arsenal fan.
seen as the Oracle.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just got to win.
Damn. Well,
Just got to win.
And it has to start on Wednesday. Well, Wednesday, it definitely wouldn't be on
No,
Sunday.
it starts on Wednesday when PSG thrash Tottenham.
Well, we just got. I bet Tottenham take it to extra time.
Good for us, man. More minutes in the legs for their players, as long as PSG still wins.
Is it 90 minutes or penalties? Is there extra time today?
I don't know. Is there?
Surely it's got to have extra. Surely it's got to have extra time.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
The charity should have extra time.
Yeah, but the Super Cup serious, like, well, a lot more serious. I think I'd
rather the Super Cup than the Charity Shield.
I know what you mean, but that's 5 major European trophies that they win tonight.
It must be. No, less said that, Kenny, man. Stop that Spurs stuff, man.
I'm just being honest.
We're all going to watch it.
I'm not on that. This is the second week in a row Kenny's been doing propaganda for Spurs. Man.
I don't do propaganda for Spurs. I say as it is because the fact
they win the Super Cup, parade,
Arsenal fans, some Arsenal fans, they still got that kind of like they got the sort of like early teens, pre-teens love for the club, where everything we do is brilliant. You know, even if when we're 5th, we're the best team in the country. When we're 17th, we're the best team in the country. When we win the FA Cup, we're still the best. We're still the best cup team. You know, there's no critique towards Arsenal, and we're all like that when we're younger. We never critiqued Arsenal. We just thought it was the best, even though even though deep down we didn't. But as we grow up and as we watch a lot of football and analyse it, we realise that some teams do it better than us, and we can think objectively that.
But too many fans got blinders on. We're in a world now where any bit of praise or criticism, you're doing agendas. There's no
fans. You've met them anyway. There's a lot of old school fans who have this sort of mantra that they will put nonsense and garbage on their sort of Twitter handles, all sorts of nonsense that makes sense only to them. Mine is Martian in it. They'll talk about a fan is a fan and a supporter is a supporter, and to support is blah blah blah, and it's nothing that's seen.
Nobody blindly.
I don't know, but during the Wenger years, you had a lot of people put a lot of rubbish, men and women, talking about the difference between a fan and supporter on their Twitter handle, rather than saying and talking about themselves. They wanted to show what great supporters we are. Well, you've got a lot of old school fans who go to games and say, right, if you say anything against Arsenal, they jump on you. If you don't back Arteta, they jump on you. They think that because Arteta's Arsenal manager, I'm going to back whoever's in charge.
You should back him. That doesn't mean blindlessly and not being free for
they refuse. They refuse to call themselves. Yeah, but they refuse to call themselves Arteta-ins. They will come out with this clever, flowery language of saying, "Yeah, I back whoever's in charge," or this player.
Think.
Yeah, but what they're saying is that me and DJB aren't proper Arsenal fans because we question Mick Arteta and we question.
It's all right. It's not like you have season tickets.
No, for them, it's not allowed. It's not allowed.
No,
it's not allowed.
You got a question. You have to question when things are not going right. You have to question. And I mean, I'm hearing a lot of nonsense now about it's not about winning trophies. It's about the occasion and it's about enjoying it. And it's not football's about.
So when are we going to enjoy 1-2 trophies?
Listen. Owners don't spend millions of pounds on football clubs. Managers don't go and spend millions of pounds on football players. Football players don't play football not to win anything. They play to win. Simple as that. You know, and I'm telling you now, we've been talking about we can't get players out the door. If we don't win anything next season, there'll be players going out the door, and there'll be Saka going, Saliba will be going, Rice will be going. All these men will be going if we don't start winning trophies. It's all right saying about the likes of Fabio Vieira and players like that. Because Saka, believe me, Saka ain't going to be another Harry Kane. That's like he was at Tottenham.
No,
If Saka ain't got a gold medal round his neck of some sort, he'd be looking to move on. Trust me.
And I always say people don't like for those that say all of that stuff that we've been talking about. You clearly don't rate Arteta.
There's a lot of fan base don't like to hear it. They like to wash it under the carpet and live in the moment. Oh, it's all right at the moment. Yeah, it's fine at the moment. We've got Zubamendi and we've got this one and they've got the other one, which is great at the moment. It's like when we beat Man City 5-1. At that moment, brilliant. Real Madrid at that moment, brilliant. But long term, what can we do now? What can we do now? Because honestly, people are saying, oh, we don't want an FA Cup, don't want a Carabao Cup. Well, that's fine. But you tell Saka when he's not won anything. You go and tell Saliba.
You tell any footballer when their career's done, because people really fail to understand many footballers don't win anything in their careers.
The whole reason why he left West Ham was to win trophies, and he hasn't won any trophies. You go and tell
he's won something at West Ham, not here, which needs to change.
This is what I'm saying. So, I mean, it's all right looking now and looking at the moment now and looking into things now. But I'm telling you now, football ain't just a day out. Otherwise, owners wouldn't spend millions of pounds on football clubs. Managers wouldn't be getting paid tens of millions of pounds to run.
And DJB, do you know what smacks it? Just all people got to do, they can say all of that stuff. Just listen to what Arteta says. Him, rightly or wrongly, the man himself says, I'm not happy with second. I want to win. So where are we at with it?
You know something's extraordinary, right? You talked about day outs. Since lockdown, when Boris Johnson and his scientists stopped us from having a normal life, we haven't had a day out. We haven't even had an FA Cup semi-final at Wembley.
No, exactly. This is what I'm saying, Kenny. It's got to stop. The players ain't even gone down Wembley. This current team, Saka was on the bench the last time we won the FA Cup. Tierney was the only survivor, and we let him go for free. Who, by the way, was our only natural left back, and now we haven't got a left back. You make that make sense? Although I can't. You let a natural left back go out the club for free, and yet you're struggling to sell left backs that are not left backs. Make it make sense. But anyway, right. What I'm trying to say is none of these current team that he has built, and I'm not talking Zubamendi and GYOKERES and all of that because they've only just joined. But the actual team from last season before, none of them have tasted success with his football team. None of them have even gone to Wembley.
And everything we've been doing has been geared towards doing that.
Everything has been trust the process, phases. Trust the process, phases.
No, I think it's a big. I think the process is over. I said the process was over in the process was over in the first game of the season against Crystal Palace in 2022 when we beat them, where it was clear as night as day that something was happening in the club. Something good was happening. But right now, that process is definitely over now, because
the process was over last summer. We've established ourselves twice as Premier League challengers.
Yeah, but it's over now because at the end of the day,
now it's a quest.
Yeah, but the problem is that I think the thing is with Arsenal is that the problem position for Mikel Arteta is different from the problem position for us. We're saying the process is over because the problem position we've identified collectively was striker. We now got one, so that's when the process is over. Mikel Arteta's problem position's always been winger,
and he's an established manager now, Kenny. None of this. Oh, he's learning his trade. Oh, he's still learning. 7 years in the manager's duty. He's now an established manager.
He's a seasoned manager now.
You ain't even got that excuse that he's new to he's learning his trade. No, he's
a seasoned manager. But he's been in 2 title challenges, plus he's been in a Champions League semi-final. That's a seasoned manager.
Yeah. So there's no more
from your own mistakes now, man.
There's no more process now. No excuses. No processes. Don't want to hear about injuries. Don't want to hear about red cards. Don't want to hear about
right, mate.
No more excuses now. Starts on Sunday against Man United. We hit the ground running. Every game's a cup final. And the pure and simple matter is we've got to win silverware. If we don't win silverware, players are going to start going out the door. And the first player that should be going out the door, or the first person that should be going out the door if we don't win anything, is the manager. 100%.
Right, so that. It's not unreasonable to say that, because the simple reason is that the pressure's
He's had long
on.
enough.
He's had long enough to to get us over the line.
And I think it's fair because I'll tell you, you've shown us some good stuff. You've made this realistic for us to expect getting over the line.
Yeah.
So it's time.
Well, we saw what happened. We saw what happened with Arsene Wenger.
You don't keep a car that keeps breaking down.
Yeah, but you remember Arsene Wenger when we didn't actually notice it at first that we were actually going for a long trophy drought until it got to the 6th year. We went, oh shit, we haven't won anything. Because do you remember that season in 2010, 2011 when he took the League Cup seriously? He started playing, really strong teams from the quarterfinals onwards, and then Birmingham happened, where it was where let's not talk about Birmingham, but that was the season when he was really taking it seriously because we began
the first time since 2006. I cried over Arsenal.
And then it got to 9 years. Well,
crazy.
We're a better team, on paper in terms of our results, not in terms of a footballing ability, but in terms of our results and in terms of the way we play, we're a better team on paper than some of those Wenger teams were in those 9 years without trophies.
Let's be real. This period, we've had one of the best squads and certain individuals of the Emirates era, but there's nothing to remember them by.
Yeah, but next season, it's going to be 6 years. And then we're going to go into our 7th year without silverware.
Yeah, it can't carry on, man. It can't carry on. Not when you got Chelsea winning trophies, Spurs winning trophies.
Present, man.
Liverpool manager just walks through the door first season winning trophies. Can't carry on. Even West Ham have won a trophy. Do you know what I mean?
It's a major European trophy because UEFA said so.
Yeah, you can't carry on, man. You can't.
And to be fair, if we had stronger European history, or if Arteta could get us a champs more, so I want us to win the Prem. I wonder if the Cronkies are looking at that Club World Cup, the new one, because he's bringing in some money.
DJB, in 4 years' time, a club of our size has to be involved in the Club World Cup from a financial point of view in order to put us on the map.
Too much money being missed out on.
You Chelsea. The only reason why Liverpool were not invited is because they didn't want too many English clubs in there, but they would have been there. We weren't considered.
And our European history as a European football club has got to change, man, in European competition. Our European record in Europe is absolutely diabolical, and that has to change. That has to change. And that's why I want the champs more than the Prem.
Yeah, I want the champs more than the Prem.
I want the champs more than the Prem because our European history, it will change our European history. B, it will just put to bed all of this nonsense about champions of Europe. You'll never sing that.
Oh my days.
That's embarrassing.
And we can eat at the top table with all the other clubs. Until then,
and we can be unbearable. I'll be so unbearable.
We're European pretenders. We're pretenders. European pretenders. We just pretend.
Can't disagree.
We haven't even won the UEFA Cup.
That's why if the manager doesn't deliver this season, get me a manager that can be successful with his football club in Europe. But it's not a criticism; it's just a fact. What's wrong with that?
Is it embarrassing though that when we were in the UEFA Cup, we were the biggest named team in that competition, and we couldn't even get that over the line?
No, he failed in that as well, and it's just ridiculous. There's too much evidence of failure than what there is success. Because finishing runners-up is not success. Not being knocked out of the Champions League semi-final is not success. But I can tell you the failure.
Some clubs, but we're at the point where it's not.
I can tell you the failure. Losing the semi-final is failure. Not winning a cup is failure. And this is where it's come to. So we have to change it next season, my friends. We've got to change it.
Pressure. You've got to think about the bigger picture. If you're an Arsenal Football Club and the pressure's too hot for you, then you need to go into probably a more colder climate.
Don't do more less
stressful. And that's the thing, because I think everyone in the football club, from the fans to the players and the manager, should embrace this pressure. We should have been doing this. We should have been like this. Well, we're like this at the 11th hour. We should have been like this season after season. We shouldn't even allow fans to have the audacity to tell us that you're spoiled. you're entitled. How dare you tell a club, fans who support the third biggest club in the country that they're entitled?
What we had to spoil us,
and they're spoiled. How dare
if anything,
you?
we're hungry.
You can tell a Crystal Palace fan that. You can tell like a West Ham fan that. You can tell any other club outside the top three there. But you can never tell an Arsenal fan, a Liverpool fan, a Man United fan that they're entitled and that they're spoiled. How dare you? How dare you call yourself a big club? How dare you, of course, laugh at Tottenham and say you look at small club?
No, we're always going to laugh at Spurs, regardless. We're laughing at Spurs.
Mentality,
man. Stop
you
doing
tell
the Spurs PR, man.
My biggest game is Sunday, DG, not Spurs, man.
I know. No, 100%. United is the one I always look at.
Guys, if you're an Arsenal fan and you're telling an Arsenal fan that they're spoiled and entitled, don't you dare call us a big club.
It's gaslighting. Because it doesn't fit in with the agendas where some are just made their bed so they have to lie in it. For me, I'm at the stage where everything should be up for debate until we get over the line. Because for me, the biggest thing is when it's all said and done, because everyone's got the answers. I always say everyone's got the answers. What about the questions, really and truly? Like for me, the last 3 years, when it's all said and done and I remove my emotion from the players and the managers, there's been 3 years we've come second. Why is that the case? Whatever you need to learn from those 3 years to make it fourth time lucky, go and do it. And if you can't, decisions have to be made, man.
100%. And if you can't do it,
that's fair.
Then you move on. Move on. And we try again. This is what's going to happen. Because you have to look in. We're finished runners up. We've come close to the Champions League. We to the final. If you ain't going to make it happen now, if you can't go one step further, then bring me in someone that can.
Guys, the good news is the Champions League finals in Budapest.
There you go. All right, Kenny. Me and you can meet up. We'll be there.
Hey, you know what?
Arsenal v Chelsea.
It'll be so much few Arsenal fans going. I'll definitely going to get a ticket. I would have got a ticket anyway.
There's a question, right? There's a question. There's a question. Spurs go further than Arsenal in the Champions League, and we end up winning nothing. What do you do with the manager then?
He's got.
Come on. That you just answered your question.
Thomas Frank ain't got pedigree in Europe, man. Now I'm worried about Spurs and champs.
You don't think so?
I mean, we ain't got pedigree, but it's new terrain for him and a couple of their players.
All right.
I am a bit not nervous about Spurs, but they're going to be better defensively.
DG, uncomfortable truth. Pound per pound, when Spurs have been in the Champions League, arguably they've had better results and gone further.
Great stuff. We've both been to the same final when we ain't been to one
Champions League. Compared to our regular appearances, they've pound per fan done better than us in the Champions League.
Amazing stuff. I haven't seen them their midfielder score 2 free
kicks. I'm just saying. I don't deal in rivalry. I know they're crap. But I deal with facts. If they're crap, I'm gonna bring the figures to you. But
Thomas Frank ain't got his feet wet in Europe.
The thing about this show, and I know a lot of people hate my guts, is because the reason why I hate my guts because I bring truths, and the trouble with the truth, it gets in the way of a good story.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm one of those people. I'm one of the people who will tell a little boy.
No, you told me Saka and Saliba not world class. You don't know.
The thing with me, I'm the type of person who will tell a young child that Father Christmas doesn't exist. I'll go and tell a young child that when he lost his tooth, it was me who put a pound down. It was me who put the £5 down. Not the
you don't believe in fairy tales, do you, Kenny?
Exactly, you know what I mean? Yeah. That's me. I'm the person who says that. Superman doesn't exist, and that
for me.
I'll tell you as it is. So you've got to have me on the free. Every channel needs a bad guy, and I'm happy to be that bad guy. And I've got another thing that's going to bore your piss. Sorry, lads, I don't like doing it in front of you because we're all Christians here. Has Thierry Henry and Manu Petit said that Saka's world class? Another uncomfortable truth, because everyone's me. I repeat,
I don't care about that.
Has Thierry Henry of any of our great players said Saka's world class?
So what? Sir Alex Ferguson said Phil Jones would be the most important player in Man United's history.
No, you're not asked the question. I asked you a direct question.
They have.
When?
Yeah. Once Thierry Henry said Thomas Muller's better than Messi. Oh, okay. Who? What did you say? What did you say?
Has Thierry Henry or Manny Petit ever said that Saka's world class?
I can't speak for Petit. I'm going to speak for the King, though.
What's the King said? Prove it.
Thierry Henry says 22-year-old is world class, and it's not William Saliba. So he has.
Which 22-year-old? He said Saka. Well, fair enough. I got it wrong. Maybe so. Chrissy Waddle don't think he's world class.
See, I don't think yeah, but don't ask me the question, because this is a guy that didn't think John Barnes was. I thought John Barnes was overrated.
Hey, you should go after him, not me. But John Barnes didn't play for Arsenal, did he?
No, I know, but I still think he was
DG don't care.
Listen, don't get me on the world class route, because
I'm not starting you two. I am not starting you.
My opinion of world class is completely different.
You see what you lot started in the chat. You see, Kenny did that.
World class is words that are used like pouring glasses of water nowadays.
It's thrown around in today's game. It used to
be used sporadically. World class. It used to be used.
It should be.
Whereas now it just gets. Someone will rock up with a blind,
Peter
like
Porter,
Rice's, Rice's bangers against Real Madrid, and suddenly he's labelled world class. Come on.
To be fair, West Ham fans have been singing Rice's claims.
All right.
Rice, Saliba, Saka got the biggest shouts for world class in our team.
All right, what I'm going to do is
Zubimendi,
truce, but I've set a task for Saka this season.
15 goals.
Nope. Good players score 15 goals. World-class players, I want 25 goals, league and cup goals.
Oh, he ain't scoring that, man. He'd be injured for all
I want 25. I want 25 league and cup goals, and I want 15 assists.
He's not under this manager, Kenny. He defends too much.
I still want 25 league and cup goals and 15 assists.
There's players from previous generations that didn't do that.
I want my talent man
cracking back. He's got to do too much defensive duties.
Give me 25 league and cup goals and 15 assists this season.
Yeah. That's like saying GYOKERES is going to score 30 goals. He ain't scoring 30 goals this season.
We have 13. You only have 2. Says he should be scoring 20 plus goals. So we have 13. You only have 2.
On a regular basis, he should be scoring. He should, if he's world class, on a regular basis, he should.
Why?
Be
Big Caesar? Why? Big Caesar? Why though? Why? What? He can do it. He's good enough to do it. Why can't I demand that, Big Caesar? Why? I'm not. Mickey, I think he should be doing that. He's good enough. Why not? He's our best player, our most important player, and he's our match winner. Why not?
He has to go to it. Yeah, definitely. He's got to be on it.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, why not?
That's not thinking Dan. It's because I rate him so highly. I think he can do it. I'm not saying it because I think to make a point. He can do it. He can score 25 league cup goals.
Not the system we play though.
He scored 15 goals.
Arteta would have to change his system though. Arteta would have to change his system. That's the thing. That's the key. This is the problem. This is why I say he's not gone to that next level, because it's too robotic and he does too much defending.
Jimmy Gibby. I'm not the new Ty. We just grew up in the same era. Jimmy Gibby.
Oh man.
But anyway, how many people? But am I wrong to demand that of our best player?
No, absolutely.
No.
Let's raise the standards.
25's a bit mad, but I need double figures.
This is the problem. We're in the comfort zone. We need to raise the standards.
Double figures is just touch the sides. I respect that. Let's not forget, Haaland had one of his poorest seasons for Man City, and he got 21 league goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Saka will do it. Don't worry, man. He was on course to have his all-time season last year. He got injured and he came back. It's all right,
I want it this season.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice. Let's start at Old Trafford. Let's start 2 goals at Old Trafford.
Injury-free.
Let's smash
25 league goals and 15 assists. All right, that's
Kenny,
the goal involvement I want. I don't want goal involvement. That's the goal involvement I want. I want 25 league goals, league and cup goals, and 15 assists. That's the goal involvement I'm interested in. That's my currency. That's me putting my nuts on the table.
That's world class.
All right. So when he does that a year from now, are you gonna apologize live and stream to him?
I might just put him in that bracket. I might put him in that bracket. I might just put him up there.
Apologies is when you've done something wrong. An apology is when you forget to hold the door open for someone and the door slams in someone's face and hits them straight on their nose. I apologise for that, but I've basically said this is the standards that he should be able to do.
But not world class. Spurs are getting praise.
Is he good enough to do it? Is he good enough to do it though?
Yeah,
I think so. So why not? He's good enough to do it.
There's other variables to it.
There's no other
my manager in that.
The manager's got to get him in there.
You said he's world class. I say that these are the standards that I think he should.
Did you have Eden Hazard as world class?
What's that?
Do you have Eden Hazard as world class?
Do you?
I'm asking you. I know what I'm going to say. Like, do you think Hazard was world class? Because you mentioned something.
No.
I think he was. Don't you? Am I mad
okay, remember that year he would not. I'm not debating that. I think he was, but you started mentioning goals. Remember that year he didn't score or something like that in the Prem?
No.
And now I'm hearing Saka's got to get 20.
That's 1 year. That's one
year. Yeah, but world class will never have that.
No, it's not PG because I want the best for Bukayo Saka because I believe that Bukayo Saka has the opportunity to be, if he wants, he can be as good as Gareth Bale, if not better. But to be as good as Gareth Bale and better, he has to get 25 league goals and 15 assists. All right, it might hurt us a lot.
All the names, Gareth Bale. I keep telling you about Kenny and this Spurs stuff.
Might come knocking.
All there.
But of his caliber, should be doing it. Not because I want him to do it. He can do it. He can do it.
Yeah, big up. Yeah,
I'm not setting him an unrealistic target.
He can do it, but not the way we play, Kenny.
Right.
Arteta would have
got double figures for England already, hasn't he? He's got double figures for England already.
Yeah,
so he can make that transition. So why can't he do it? So he should be doing it at club level.
Yeah. And he should be at that level now. He should be at that level, and we need it. We need it if we're going to win. If we're going to win trophies, Saka's got to score goals. Odegaard's got to score goals. Rice has got to score goals. That's what I said earlier in the stream. Everyone in the midfield has got to chip in. Otherwise, you can't rely on GYOKERES alone.
Question: who's still our talisman? Who's still our main man?
Havertz.
I think we got. Oh gosh, I think we got two. I hope it's GYOKERES. Shout Havertz. I think we got
who's Mikel's main man?
Havertz.
Oh God.
Yeah, well, wonder God. For me, it's Saka or Rice. If them two are not at it, like them two have the ability to just drag us out the trenches.
Odegaard and Havertz as his mate. He's going to die on Havertz Hill. I'm telling you. Havertz is going to be the absolute.
Yeah, but which player was running to the ground and he got injured?
Saka,
Havertz, Martinelli.
If he's his main man.
No, I'm joking. Cool Saka's. I'm being.
So those expectations.
I'm being. Yeah, cool Saka's his main man. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, yeah.
I think he should be getting those numbers because he's capable of doing it.
Yeah, 100%.
I want to see it.
He's come to an age where he knows his game inside out. He's come to an age where, if he's injury free, that's the target she should be setting.
But when you
100% in a World Cup year as well, feel your confidence will benefit from that in May, June next year.
But when you got Saka's been our most dangerous player, teams know that. That's why they double up on him and put 3 men on him.
Do you remember Cristiano Ronaldo?
Minute zero.
When he was remember when he was at Man United? Remember he first went to Man United, and he was kind of like he played on both flanks, and he had a lot of touches, and he came with the occasional goal. Then one season, Sir Alex Ferguson challenged him in the 06-07 season and said, "Right, I want you to do this, and that because you can do it." And from that season, 06-07,
ever since.
Exactly. I'm no Sir Alex Ferguson, but I still think that Bukayo Saka, yes, he's not in the Cristiano Ronaldo world-class kind of thing, but he is capable of scoring that many goals because one, he plays up top, and two, he's got the ability to do that.
Yeah, of course he has.
He's got an eye for goal.
100%. And he should be doing it, Kenny. He should be doing it. He should by now. He should have gone to the next level under this manager. He should be at that level now where we're expecting him to score like crazy amount of goals. He should be.
He says his Saka's elite. 25 goals and 15 assists. Says he will be.
Yeah.
He's elite already, man. Come on.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one thing you got to say about Saka. He's pivotal to this football club. You have to have Saka playing week in, week out, and you have to have him on these top because he is the only player that I know at the moment watching Arsenal that when he gets the ball, I actually, do you know what I mean? I actually expect things to happen.
Do you think things are going to happen?
I haven't. I'm hoping I'm going to get that.
Endowment closest I get to that.
Yeah, I'm hoping I'm going to see that with GYOKERES. I'm hoping I'm going to see that with a lot of the players this season. But Saka is the only one. I don't really get it with Odegaard. I don't really get it with
Mikuri Mediki.
And let's not forget Rooney at international tournaments.
Yeah,
Sorry, Rooney, I love you, but I need consistency.
Right. This is like
I'm not even a stats guy.
Local guy Saka. Future, if he was to play false number 9, can you see him getting those numbers?
No,
because of the fact that he's a better player than Hazard.
No, he's not. No, I never want to see Saka play 9. I never want to see him play 10. Like I hate these shots.
All right, from his position where he is at the moment, what is the obstacles? Why do you think that I'm being unrealistic saying 25 league and cup goals, and 15 assists? I don't see the obstacle to it. I think the ability is there.
You're going to play enough games to get the opportunity. If we free ourselves up in an attacking sense, then of course
I think in terms of his game, the way his game develops season upon season, the way his confidence about it season upon season, the fact that it's World Cup year, the fact that he had his football taken away from him, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't set those targets for himself.
No, let's hope you don't get a reoccurrence of his injury, though, man. I don't want to see that. Please.
Oh, God forbid.
Can't deal with that.
Martinelli, I hate this. The thing is, we've tried him in that position, haven't we?
He could do it, but it's not going to happen at this club, is it? Like you've got GYOKERES, you've got Havertz, you've got Marino.
Yeah, I think that's his best position, central, but he ain't going to play there. He
needs to leave to start seeing all of that. Look, even last season, with all the injuries, even if Jesus is fit, he'll play. With all the injuries last season, look how much it took to get to that point at Anfield where Martinelli played up front. And even still, it weren't like you started up there. He was kind of mixing and blending in the game. Yeah. For whatever reason, Arteta don't seem like that.
I make you all right. I think it's just an interesting discussion because, I've thought about the discussions, over the last few weeks about Saka. And obviously, you've been trolling and being mischievous when I'm on Dan's show. You little, you think I don't watch the chat where you just, just getting a chat. I mean, you should have just asked for the link and got on the show so I could roast you on it. He's joking, but but it's got me thinking. It really got me thinking about that sort of thing. And I've always thought. Am I sort of like saying he hasn't scored enough of the goals for that sort of position? That maybe that's probably why I haven't put him in that edition because I do think he's capable of doing it. I really do. Seriously, do think he's capable of doing it. I'm convinced of it.
Start over Perez and Ljungberg. Now we're swearing.
No, he will never start over them because Perez is the fourth. For me, Perez is the. I know this is up for
silly.
No, not Perez, and I'm not discrediting the other one at all. You made my childhood great, but
Perez is better than Alexis Sanchez.
Perez is one of the best players Arsenal's ever.
He's the fourth best player we've ever had. Perez,
100%.
Cool, man.
He's fourth behind Brady, Henry, and Bergkamp.
Perez is a player. But Ljungberg, I can't lie. If we remove nostalgia, he's definitely starting over him. I think Ljungberg will tell you that.
I don't know.
He's the training.
I don't know. Would Saka would he have had the same effect in that team that Ljungberg played in?
Yeah, where you just had, there's no Prime Wenger is making you play the ball that you need to play. There's no emphasis on defending.
Possibly. I
He's
suppose.
cooking. That right-hand side,
I suppose under Wenger. Can you imagine how good he would be?
Because that's what I'm assuming. Like we was like, you take one out, and
You imagine Saka under Prime Wenger. Then you're talking 20 goals.
Cooking. Perez, he can't take his spot.
And this is what we're saying. But this is what we're saying.
You imagine Saka under Pep now. You imagine Saka under Pep. The Pep that
he'll just make him a cold-hearted robot.
Imagine Saka in those Man City sides in 2018 and 2019 when they were playing
stupid numbers.
He'd have got silly numbers, wouldn't he?
Stupid numbers.
What do you reckon, Grealish at Everton? Do you reckon that's a good signing?
Some brand with where they're at and where he's at this moment in time, if I'm honest. He just needs a move. He needs to play regular football to have any chance of getting that World Cup.
Yeah, but the thing with Grealish is that with Grealish, he's another one of those players where I look at him and I look at him where he plays, I'm thinking, I need more. I need more goals.
Yeah, but he's never been a numbers man. He's actually never been a numbers man. That's why I always said it weren't going to bang at City. For him, obviously, you want everything. You worked under one of the greatest managers.
You've just described a luxury player. You just described a luxury player.
Yeah, he has got elements of being a luxury player. I honestly think Grealish is a person that should have been here in the early 2000s. We live in a day and age of numbers, and you need your wide men.
Would you have taken Grealish on loan? If that's all we're looking at now, if we can't get Eze or we couldn't have got...
You see, I'm the wrong person to ask because I like Grealish. I think it's probably the wrong decision, though. But I like him, so I'll say,
when Aston Villa was selling him, I would take a Grealish in his prime.
Yeah.
When he's at his best.
Oh, yeah. He was brilliant.
We're taking an unwanted player.
At the Emirates.
You know what I mean? We're taking a player that no one wants. So, at the end of the day,
rehab part of it now.
I still think there's a player in there. I still think Everton will do all right with him. But
I hope so, man. We need as many England players playing amazing going into next year as possible.
Yeah, World Cup, man. That's going to be good. Let's go into the World Cup as Arsenal European champions. That really make the summer.
Well, you definitely. You know what I'm thinking. You know what I'm thinking, right?
What?
If we sort of segue towards England, there's a guy born in Manchester, playing for Barcelona. If he doesn't take the left-hand spot for England, he's a mug.
They say that again?
There's a guy born in Manchester on loan to Barcelona.
Oh.
If he doesn't take the left-sided forward position, he's a fool. It's there waiting for him. It's there waiting for him.
He's another one.
He wants it. If he bangs for Barcelona,
wishing him the best. Again, we need as many England players amazing as possible, man.
You know the one I thought the only one that I'm really disappointed with and frustrated with. I actually thought Callum Hudson-Odoi will bang. I actually thought
injuries, man.
I really thought when he would first hit the road at Chelsea, and then he started playing against England, I thought this guy would be a future.
Remember the saga with Bayern Munich trying to get him as well? It's crazy how that pans out.
Yeah,
he should have gone. He should have gone there.
He bullied us in the FA Cup many years ago. Ironically, Saka, Smith Rowe, them were there. Yeah, he looked head and shoulders above everyone.
Foden was in that team as well. Foden was in that team in 2017.
Now he is world class.
Foden world class.
Top player. He scored the 20 goals because he scored the 20 goals in that season, isn't it?
And no one can remember these 20 goals. When did they mean?
Look at the trophies Foden's won. Look what he's won.
Saka's winning all of that.
Look what he's won.
Foden ain't carrying Chelsea like Palmer.
Foden comes in an England dressing room weighed down with medals.
What has Foden done for England? He was the poster boy many years ago at one of the Euros. Grealish
still a good player, man.
World Cup, he was on fuckle. Last Euros, he was on fuckle. He's a great player. He can get a ball and spin on the half.
I'd have had him at Arsenal.
I'd have him at Arsenal.
There's another player.
He's never done it.
Right, there's another player, right? With Jude Bellingham's injury. Obviously he's going to come back. But say Jude Bellingham gets an injury.
The most overrated midfield player.
There's another player that you didn't mention in the under 17 teams that won the World Cup. Morgan Gibbs-White played in that team as well.
Love-hate relationship with Gibbs-White.
Do you rate him?
That's a player we should have got.
I like him. I do like him. I don't rate him as much as other people, but I do rate him. I'd have Morgan Rogers over.
Morgan Rogers, they're the sort of players.
Is he a technically gifted player or is he a hard-working player? Is he a hard-working player?
Which one?
Morgan Gibbs White, is he more of a hard-working player, or is he?
He's direct, isn't he?
Very good.
Direct.
I think he's technically proficient, but I think he's clocked that I might not be the sweetest kind of technical player in the team, so I'm just going to work hard and do my thing.
These are the sort of players I was hoping we'd get. Guys, these are the sort of players I was hoping we'd get. I was hoping we'd get a Morgan Rogers or a Morgan Gibbs White. And instead of that, we've got Norgard on that. Why didn't we go like Adam Wharton? Adam Wharton. What a player.
But again, paper.
Cole Palmer? Do you think Cole Palmer can break into that England team?
He should do. I rate him. He should do. Got to find a way for it to work. He's sick. He's better than Foden. Foden's obviously technically way more proficient, but I think Palmer gets more out of the tools available. Foden is probably the best young player I've seen, excluding Rooney, that's English.
Do you think Foden, compared to Cole Palmer is your street footballer, Phil Foden is a coached player?
I just think with Foden, I don't think you've ever had it tough, if I'm honest. Like I just see that bit of that roughness in Palmer. I just don't think you've done it. And even Palmer, he scored in the final for England.
One more.
I need more from Foden. He's got it in him.
Both of you. This is my thoughts. And feel free to disagree if you want to. I think that anything less than England getting to the finals is a disgrace next year.
100%.
I mean, you got the Spanish, you got the French, you got.
England remind me of Arsenal. England remind me of Arsenal, man. The nearly. Yeah. Got all the ingredients, but doesn't actually serve up.
And who really knows what Thomas Tuchel's going to do with this England side as well?
But England's like an Arsenal. They've got all the ingredients. Everything's in place. All the players, all the ingredients, just can't serve the dinner.
That's been us for years, though. From the golden generation, didn't do anything. Like I don't really have that much expectation.
Major trophies for in under 21s and European under 21. The fact is that this Southgate, the manager we couldn't stand, and the manager we forced out, got into 2 finals.
Yeah, no, don't get it twisted. Thomas Tuchel's got to do something like that.
Listen. I've got nothing against Tuchel, but only time will tell for me with him. I'm sorry.
There's too much.
I just think it's the England. I just think it's England, though. I think what we do is as I said to you before, we put players up on a pedestal. We're blinded by. We watch England players and we think they're the best thing since sliced bread, but technically they get found out in big occasions.
And mentality and tactics.
Mentally, what it is, right? We've got to get rid of this England that are all singing, all dancing.
Really, even look at the Italians; they've got ballers, but their mentality is amazing.
We're not that good. We're not that good. That's
fair enough.
That's the fact. We're overrated. We're overrated as a nation. Football.
If anything, even
the Premiership is overrated. Technically, the Premiership is overrated. That's why you know what I mean. Technically, it's exciting. It's 100 mile an hour. It's tough, but technically, the Premiership is overrated massively.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Because I think when you think about it, because like it seems like obviously England have got the European Championships at home. Well, the 4 nations have got the European Championships at home. And obviously, the expectations is that anything other than winning it is sort of be acceptable. But I think in terms of like the World Cup as well, I look at most of the teams in the world. I see good teams, but I don't see a great team, with the exception of Spain.
We've definitely got the players to get to the World Cup final, 100%. 100%. But the problem is our Premiership is too demanding. So unfortunately, we get a lot of players rock up with injuries and burnt out.
Even Palmer, you've had the World Cup, you got the Prem, and then you got England obviously next year. Ooh, that's
right.
Point.
I've got a solution.
I don't want to hear winning break, man.
Let's get rid of the Boxing Day, New Year's Day fixture. Get rid of the Christmas program.
No, I love it.
Yeah, but how does it benefit fans and players?
It'd be nice for the fans and players to be with their families and trains not getting cancelled, but fuck that.
The biggest problem is as well, you ask any Spanish person, Spain to win the World Cup, or if they're a Barcelona or a Real Madrid to win the Champions League, they'll go Spain to win the World Cup. You ask any English fan, would you have your football team win the Champions League and the Premiership, or England to win the World Cup? 90% of them would turn around and pick their club team.
Yeah, that I wholeheartedly agree with.
Arsenal.
And that's where the mentality comes in. And this is why I'm saying,
you know what? You've got a
if
good
you
point
go
there.
to any South American team, Brazil, Argentina, Spain, Italy, they would put their national team first to win the World Cup over their club team. In England, it's the other way around.
You know, you've got a good point. Let's just sort of rewind back to 2008. 2008, England didn't qualify for the Euros, but the Champions League final contested by Chelsea and Man United, and Liverpool in the semi-finals. Yeah,
exactly.
Our national side didn't get to the Euros.
Exactly.
In the 70s, when England didn't get to the World Cup in 1978, Liverpool won the European Cup in 77, 78. And Nottingham Forest won it in 79 and in 80. And in 81, Liverpool won it. And in 82, Villa won it.
I mean, you ask any Arsenal fan, England to win the World Cup or Arsenal to win the Champions League.
Arsenal win the Champions League.
I'm guaranteed.
Liverpool have won more champs than I can count, but I'm sure every Liverpool based fan would say
English.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was strategically saying Liverpool.
I'm talking about England fans. I mean, if
you're an
Arsenal
fan, I know what you mean. You're right. I think we're too football orientated in this country. Big Caesar is a typical England Arsenal fan that he puts Arsenal before England.
100%.
And I think that's 95% of us.
Probably even more.
That's what I'm saying about mentality, though. This is what I'm saying about how we're different to like Spain and Italy and a lot of the South American countries, because winning the World Cup is everything for them. It's everything. Do you know what I mean? Like everything. I'm not so sure it is, and I think that's in the England. I think a lot of our England players as well. That it's in their mindset as well. That the club is more important. I still think you've got an element where a lot of the English players still think that club is more important than playing.
You reckon? So you reckon, like, if they got to World Cup final or semi-final and they went home, they'll be thinking, well, I was crying.
No. Don't get me wrong. I think they'll be upset and I think they'll be devastated, and it was all plain to see.
Would you think they'll be more devastated? Would you really think they'll be more devastated if they lost the Champions League final for their club than they?
Do you know what?
100%.
Part of me would probably think, I would say that the players would probably be more devastated losing the Champions League final than they would a World Cup semi-final or something. Yeah.
What about if they lost the World Cup final but won the Champions League final?
That's bittersweet, man.
Yeah, that's
bittersweet.
That's like,
But then the World Cup take precedence over
hopefully, we're talking about Bukayo Saka and Declan Rice.
Yeah, that'd be great, wouldn't it? Imagine them two. Imagine them two getting the Champions League, and then rocking up in a World Cup final. That'd be just magnificent. I was gassed when Vieira and Petit when France won it, man.
Good day.
I was like,
and now look,
I was proud to be an Arsenal fan. Massively.
Well, you know what? I had a bit of a dilemma because I'm one of the guys that Brazil was my second country to win. And
it was Brazil growing up as a kid. Running home from school just to watch them in the World Cup. We used to, especially if you got on, like, you come home from school and watch Brazil. Ebere, that 82
exactly.
Brazil.
You know what I mean? I think Brazil just give you that kind of. I think what it is with 99, 98 is that the Brazil fan in me hated France winning that final until I realised that the guy that assisted the third goal was an Arsenal player, and the guy that scored the third goal was an Arsenal player.
Yeah, it's great.
And then all the people were cheering, and I thought, I'm a Brazil fan here, and I was angry. And then I realised actually two Arsenal players were involved.
Manu Petit, probably the most underrated Arsenal football player.
Yeah.
Manu Petit probably does not get the plaudits, unfortunately.
You see, his missus calls
and he talks real stuff nowadays. That's why he's that's why the guy never gets around a press conference on the pitch at Emirates.
Exactly.
Stuart Robson's another one who's banned from the club. Stuart Robson.
He says it as it is. Any player that comes out and says it as it is, you ain't getting anywhere near the Emirates.
And now you got Theo Walcott and
Arteta Protection Society.
Oh, enough said, Theo. Enough said, Theo.
But on that note, people, I've had these lot here for close to 3 hours. I'm gonna let DJ.
Listen, man, have we gone nearly 3 hours?
I don't know. I really don't know.
You blame me for that.
Where do you?
No,
you know what it is?
For time.
You know whose fault it is? It's the chat.
Yeah, Kenny.
The chat make it interesting. The
Big
chat.
up you lot, chat, but yeah, Laos.
You know what it's like when we get together, Kenny.
Yeah.
And they say
you
don't love the club.
Yeah, but you know what is the chat? The chat, they put so many questions, so many theories in there that we got to listen to, we got to discuss them. They come up with some really good points.
DG, you got a good chat, man. You got a good chat.
That's what I'm trying to promote here, man.
Some of them can be hard hitting, but we can take that. It's not a problem.
Yeah, I mean, you get some rogue ones. Most people here can hear opinion that's different, debate it, and keep it like
your
that.
Chat is the best chat I've ever in all the podcasts I've been in. Your chat's the best. By my
chat.
I don't know why.
This is you lot.
And if they come over to my stream, they can challenge my chat because some of my
exactly people. Make sure you're following DJB's platform. It should be in the title, and it should also be in the chat as well. Mod, someone post that before we get out of here, please.
Yeah, let's have a little look.
Let's stop being silly.
Yeah, the Arsenal hub.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Jimmy Gilby is playing. He's been another SLD now.
He's a madman. SLD is the cloud of the thing. Where is it? Why is it not?
Get on it. Friday, we got the pre-match preview. Me, Kenny Ken, Jez. Hopefully, Matty, the Southern Goon, will be joining us.
Big up Matty as well, man. Another one I got time for.
The big kickoff. Yeah.
But I'm telling you that before you go, you're gonna have to.
He's gonna leave us with something. You know what's coming.
Your subscribers. How many subscribers you got?
69,000.
Come on, man.
By the
end of the season, you'll get 80,000 subscribers. I promise you.
Yeah, I hope it only comes with us winning shit.
Yeah,
no, they think they're coming here to laugh that my team's lost.
Irrespective of whether we win or not,
I can't even think about them numbers. I'm scratching for 2K just before the season starts.
So hit the subscribe button, people.
You'll hit 10K. You'll hit 10K by the end of the next season. I'm telling you now.
Listen,
every content will be watched. You'll be hitting 10K. You'll be on 80. I promise you.
They're on us. They're going to be on us. We're going to be under the magnifying glass next season. That's probably the truest thing you said in the live chat. Like, well, in the live stream when we was there, it's like everything's going to be scrutinized.
Everything, man. The pressure on this football team next season is just relentless.
Trust me,
relentless. We have to win. We have to win a trophy. Kenny, I can't do it, man. I can't go another season without anything.
Big up Shane as well.
And that is why you'll get more views, is because they're going to look at your reactions. Then there'll be people who hate Arsenal fans who are going to say, "I've got to get over to DG now and see his face. I've got to go to GYOKERES."
Kenny, I can't. Honestly, I'm done.
An Arsenal match reaction is going to be gold dust. It's going to be view figures.
I can't be doing with it. I can't.
Win, draw, lose. We all hit the booze.
Hey, facts. I'm
on the edge now. I'm on the edge. I mean, I'm annoyed that he's got another season with us, the manager. But if he doesn't get over, if we don't win anything next season, I'm going to be really on.
Good luck, Warren. Good luck, Ryan. Hope you get a winning ticket. I only want 10 grand off you.
Yeah, Warren, come on, man. We need that. You can buy us Rodrigo as well. But he's not even an Arsenal fan, but he could help us out, make us smile. Man, Kenny, DJB, it's been a pleasure, man.
DG, it's been thank you very much, my friend. I really enjoyed it.
Man, you're not part of the furniture, man. Nothing's changed, but I feel a lot better about our club.
Kenny, big up, my friend. I'll see you Friday.
DJB. Yeah. DG, see you next week.
Come on, Wednesday, 4 p.m. people.
Yeah.
We might say.
Big up the chat.
Come on, and don't forget to follow DJB. It's in the title. It's in the chat. Don't be silly. I would say Kenny, but he doesn't care about it.
And respect the chat, man. Respect
the chat. You're the best. You're the best.
Yeah, it's a good chat. It's a good
chat. Peace. Like